LOUDLABS show. Coming to you from downtown Los Angeles. Behind me is Todd Betts. I am Scott Lane. Today's guest, Pooky. It's Friday, January 6th, 2017. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get to it. Hello again, and welcome to the LOUDLABS show, episode 1. It is Friday morning, January 6th, 2017. Yes, it is finally 2017. On a quick note, I was able to cross off a few things on the bucket list in 2016. We went to Alaska. We saw some pretty things. Saw the green lights. Green lights were fun, beautiful. I took a helicopter ride. Found me some pretty snow. Topped it off with the most prestigious golf course in Las Vegas. 2016 sucked except for those things. Every week here at LOUDLABS, we'll be putting together 2 broadcasts. This show on Fridays and a Sunday show I call the Weekend Review, or as White 90 likes to call it, the Weekend Recrash. A quick introduction to who's in the room with me. To my left is Todd Betts, or White 90, depends on the time of day. To my right is the machine, Scott Dearborn. Without Dearborn, this show would be much more boring than you're about to witness. Across the way over there is Terry the Great. So this is what happened in LA last night, or in the Southland last night. We're gonna start off with Mr. White 90 and a carport fire.
Yep, this happened on 7th Ave. Carport caught fire. Back down the alleyway, I ran down there, got hosed off a little bit, but LAFD quickly put the fire out.
Hold on, it's coming. Here it is. You got hosed.
Yeah.
Sad news. Early reports have an 8-year-old boy that was assaulted by a 12-year-old child in the Apple Valley area. Scanner traffics indicate the 8-year-old was hit in the head by the 12-year-old with an unknown object. According to the dispatcher, the boy's eyes were open, but he was unresponsive after the assault. The dispatcher indicated that she was giving CPR instructions to the family over the telephone. Fire paramedics transported the boy to the hospital in Victorville, or to a hospital in Victorville. The investigators can be seen on video with an evidence bag believed to be holding the assault weapon. Pursuit suspect, buddy.
This guy was a short pursuit, 5 minutes. Took LAPD to get this pulled over. He foot bailed. They found him on Pico, and I don't know if they tased him or if he got knocked down during the rundown, but yeah, he's gonna go to jail. Hospital first, jail second.
He doesn't look happy.
He's gonna go to the jail hospital.
Jail hospital.
How are those plugs treating you?
Yeah, LAPD said it didn't last very long.
Another sad story here. Detectives with the City of Riverside Police Department were in a field near Riverside Airport with flashlights and shovels conducting an investigation. It appears a baby's body may have possibly have been found buried in the field. Police have declined to comment, referring all media inquiries to the police department's PIO. A detective at the scene could be carrying something wrapped in a white blanket away from a large hole in the field. The hole appeared to be several feet deep and several feet wide. We'll find out more about this in the morning.
Wow, they let Mike get right up on that thing.
Yeah, that's what leads me to believe it might not be what it is. This morning, the Riverside Fire Department responded to reports of a residential structure fire in the city's La Sierra area. I need to learn how to talk. The fire was reported just after 2 a.m. in the 1700 block of Furry Drive. The first arriving engines company reported heavy smoke and fire coming from the garage of a single-story, single-family dwelling. Started. It's believed the fire to be started in the garage and spread to the attic. And thank you, Mike, for that footage. And that is last night's look. Last night's look. Maybe we'll just use that one. Last night's look. What's next? A weekly review, a weekly recap? What do we call it? I think we call it recap. Weekly recap. Roll it. Not much I can say here except we were there. We'll have a more in-depth look later with our own Victor Park coming up in just a bit. But LOUDLABS covered that.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm happy. I'm living it, loving it.
Virginia Street shooting?
Yeah, this guy was shot. I showed up. There was reports of a guy being CPR in progress, or he transported to the hospital with CPR in progress. But I believe there was maybe one victim shot, maybe two.
I'm always getting sad stories. A group of friends were out for a New Year's hike in Apple Valley, came across human remains. A deputy responded to the area near the 1600 block Apple Valley Road and confirmed the hikers' report. The remains were located about a quarter mile off the road. A winter storm is expected to dump several feet of snow in the Donner Summit area of Northern California along I-80 for the next few days. The winter storm made for travelers nightmares. Temperatures dropped to the mid-20s, and the interstate looked more like a parking lot as snow made Interstate 80 a white, slushy mess. We have a train versus a crane. Northbound freight train collided with a freeway construction crane this morning in Victorville. It wasn't this morning. It was a few days ago. The accident occurred shortly before 7 a.m. near the intersection of 6th Street and D Street. The mobile crane appeared to be returning to a construction yard at the end of the night's work shift. When the accident occurred, there was a driver in it. He was transported. Wednesday night, fire truck was making a U-turn and got rear-ended. Suspect will be cited for following too close. They were injured a little bit, not too much. It's going to be raining the next few days in the Los Angeles area in Southern California. Everybody, please drive safe. The roads are wet. LA drivers are not prepared for this. We do want the rain, but we're just not prepared for the roads. And if you're going to drink and drive while it's wet, just stay home and don't drive. Call an Uber.
I'm a shooter.
And that is our weekly recap. Weekly recap. All right, next we're going to get into Victor's package. You like Victor's package?
I don't know yet.
Victor is our reporter. LOUDLABS News has a reporter, and his name is Victor Park. Victor Park went and covered New Year's Eve in Times Square.
An estimated 2 million people flocked the streets in and around Times Square to ring in the new year.
I'm so excited. I'm tired, but I'm really, really excited.
Brooke Muse from Santa Cruz, California stood more than 14 hours to witness the iconic ball drop.
We started over there at like 9:30ish a.m. And oh my God, it's just so gnarly. Like my knees kind of hurt, but you know what? It is what it is, man. I'm happy. I'm living it, loving it.
From performances to screaming and of course kissing, the crowds try to keep themselves warm to help get through hours of lingering cold weather.
I have lots of hand warmers. I'm freezing. I live in California, so I'm not used to this. Bought a lot of cold gear, but it isn't doing the trick. It's still freezing.
I just pretend it's not cold, and I don't know, the mind does the rest. And I look at everybody, we huddle together, we cuddle, we get to know each other. It's a great thing. This is my cuddle buddy.
Woo! Yay!
Unlike previous years, temperatures were not as cold as it dropped to the lower 40s. Along with the crowds were a noticeably large presence of stepped-up security after terrorists attacked a nightclub in Turkey earlier that day. The NYPD says 7,000 officers were deployed, from bomb-sniffing dogs to dozens of sanitation trucks filled with 15 tons of sand used to block streets surrounding the event for the first time. At the strike of midnight, it was time to think about resolutions.
To go on a lot more adventures than I do and have a year of adventures.
And as you can see, sanitation crews were quick to clean up miles of where the celebration took place, while organizers say they will start planning next year's New Year's event this week. In Times Square, New York, I'm Victor Park for LOUDLABS News.
45 degrees, that's not fucking cold, is it, Terry?
Pretty cold.
Nah.
I like Victor's package. That was fucking bad. Thank you, Victor. That is our broadcast student. Actually, he graduated. He already graduated, and congratulations on that, Victor. Good job, man. All right, so Todd and I are stringers. What's a stringer? We go out and film stuff for the news, and I'm going to introduce you to one of the guys on our team right now. Each week we'll meet somebody different, or we'll meet the same guy twice. Who knows? But today we're going to meet Christian. Christian, he's our bilingual stringer.
It's a really good job if you're nocturnal, if you don't mind being out in kind of the dangerous side of Los Angeles. I haven't had any kind of hard issues. Been squirted with a couple of fire hoses, hit with a little bit of steam, pulled over a couple of times because I'm cruising around in a Crown Vic at 2 o'clock in the morning downtown LA. CHP kind of wants to know why I'm doing it. I was a flight attendant for United for 26 years, and my kids were out in the park one day, and everybody was saying, "Oh, what's your dad do? Oh, my dad's a lawyer. Oh, my dad's a cop." Now they're, "What's your dad do?" "Oh, he's an LA camera guy for the news." I'm the cool dad.
And that was our cool dad stringer, Christian. Thank you, Christian. Glad you liked the job. All right, so we have some sponsors to get into. We're going to get into it. Cue the sponsor music. Obey Imaging Supplies, Inc. Family owned and operated, located in the beautiful city of Huntington Beach, California. They offer original equipment, manufactured toner, and new compatible laser inkjet toner for all makes and models. They also carry all Fuser maintenance kits, drums, micro toner, and any accessories pertaining to your printing supplies. When it comes to your toner needs, call Obey Imaging Supplies, Inc. Call Obey Imaging Supplies, Inc. today at 877-535-6239. Or check them out online, obeyimaging.com.
Market Fixtures Unlimited, the premier choice for all your supermarket and restaurant equipment needs. For over 50 years, Market Fixtures Unlimited has been serving the wonderful state of California, Nevada, Arizona, and New Mexico. Whether you're looking for a brand new range to spruce up your restaurant's kitchen or a refurbished refrigerator unit for your supermarket, we can get all those products that you need. Let Market Fixtures Unlimited help you take your business from what it is now to what you know it's capable of being. Give Brian a call, 562-803-5553, or go to their website and check them out at marketfixturesunlimited.net.
Next up, we have Petal Perfect. For all your flower needs and wants, call Petal Perfect. Guys and gals, Valentine's Day is approaching. Hit up Petal Perfect. They do it all. Weddings, parties, corporate events, you name it, call Petal Perfect. Petal Perfect offers local delivery in the Los Angeles and Orange County areas. Call Petal Perfect at 562-631-6478, or connect with them on Facebook, or you can check them out on Instagram, Petal_Perfect. Thanks, people. Now let's get to this conversation.
Today we have a very great guest. That's our first show, and I thought it'd be perfect. We all thought it'd be nice if we had one of my oldest friends in. Just got out of prison, and we're gonna chop it up, and we're gonna figure out why, how, and the all-arounds. What's up, Pook?
What's going on?
Not much. How are you?
I'm doing real fine,
It's good to see you, man.
Up early in the morning.
Up early, right? Rehearsals, makeup.
Makeup!
Well, yeah. How come? Where's your makeup girl? I thought you.
I don't know what happened to her, man. She didn't call me back.
Right.
It's probably too early in the
Do
morning.
we look greasy though? I don't think we look
no,
greasy.
we actually don't look too greasy.
Right? I told you it was like a real nice setting, though, right?
This is a beautiful setting in here. Right now I'm Instagramming this chick right here, right?
Yeah. Get it going.
On
Instagram. You finish it out.
Her name is China J. One thing I'm going to tell you since I came out, your cell phones, it's like
way more advanced than the cell phones you went in with,
when
right?
I went in, they're like this big, and I come out and I got this computer, and I got a little story about that. But these cell phones are like
The little computers in your hand.
it's like porn in your pocket.
Oh yeah, right, Terry? Porn in the pocket, right?
Porn in the pocket. And with Snapchat, you get 30 seconds of porn in your pocket.
Look, which one do you go to? Like Pornhub? Pornhub's good.
Oh, Pornhub's good, but
porn?
honestly, I have 2 girls that I look at every day on Instagram.
Right, just two girls you go to?
I got 2 girls, and they give me everything that I need on Instagram.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hookup too right now. Ready?
Okay, so I'm gonna have a 3rd girl.
No. Many third girls. A little site called Kind Girls.
Oh, kind.
Kindgirls.com. Just check that out when you get a chance.
I will. I'm all about finding women in my pocket right now.
Wow, this moved away quickly from news.
No, we're back.
Went straight from prison to porn, which makes sense.
What? Right?
I didn't have any. I wasn't doing anything in there. So prison to porn, it should be prison to porn site.
Right? That could be your new site. No, so we had you in here because, you got a sentence of 15 years, 8 months, right? Was your total clip?
Yes.
Was going to be your total clip.
It was going to be my total clip.
And so why don't we just go? I know a little bit of the background. I know a little bit of the reasons why. I know. Like I said, I know the little bit of the gray areas and definitely the black and whites. But I wanted to ask you today if you would just come on and walk us through what happened, and just let our audience know. This is how you get caught up if you're not paying attention.
Okay, we can do that. We can. My fond memory. It's been.
Give us the year and where you were living.
I was living in the higher east side. No, I was living in East Hollywood, close to Los Feliz, in an apartment building. And that was 10 years ago when I was only paying like $650 a month.
$650, right?
Hey, yeah,
I remember I've been there. I was there I've been to your apartment like 3 or 4 times before you got clipped. But so break it down. Tell us. Give us a little bit of the background of how it got started and what happened and what you got involved in.
Well, I DJ and make T-shirts, and I'm an entrepreneur throughout Hollywood. I've been doing it for a very long time.
So you're hustling, basically.
So I'm hustling all the time, but I had a legit job. I was working for the corporate office of Bank of America at the time.
Yeah, I've been to a few of I've been to a few of Pook's parties in the Hollywood area.
So I won't say I was a.
You were hustling.
I wasn't a B-class celebrity. I was like a C+, B-.
Right.
People knew
just good enough to graduate.
If you needed something to do on a Friday or Saturday night, you call him, and he'll tell you exactly what to do,
and
whether he was in charge of it or
get you on a list too.
Get you on the list.
He would give you ideas of what to do, and sometimes he was the entertainment.
Yeah, and I appreciated that. And I was a kind-hearted guy, and I was always lending out a helping hand. And I will have to say that all that came from my upbringing of growing up in Downey, California. The 562.
The DNY.
DNY, my heart and soul. But being out there, I had contacts with everything. If you needed anything, I knew where it was.
Right.
Didn't mean I was always a bad guy.
No, you knew where the shit was.
I knew where it was. So with that saying, I kind of, being the nice guy that I am, I kind of just jumped into something that I shouldn't have, and that was I helped somebody out. I had a friend of a friend who was looking for some methamphetamine.
It's crystal.
Crystal meth.
Crank.
Crank. I used to call it the truck driver.
Truck driver. Pow. Pow. Pow.
Hey, you need some of that truck driver?
Yeah, truck driver. I love it. So this is this guy you met. He wanted you to facilitate and hook up and find somewhere to get this.
Yeah, well, see, I knew the guy's wife, and because we worked together when I was working at American Apparel, and then he asked me if I can get him some methamphetamine, and I said, I don't do that. That's not my cup of tea. That's not you're completely out of my lane. No, I can't. But I'll look as a favor. I have connections.
All right, I'll look around.
I know people.
I know people.
And
I can find it. I had an interview before, and I said, look, I can find you anything from hookers to mushrooms.
Right, and all in between.
and that fits in between.
And so what year was this again?
This is 2005.
Right. Okay.
2005.
Okay. So you tell the dude, yeah, I can. Let me look around.
Let me look around and let me see what I can do for you. And what ends up happening is, I looked around a little too good, and I did find what he needed.
Okay.
And basically, it was like a third-party situation. It's like my friend that I knew who was helping another friend out.
Right. So you got a contact of a friend, and he led you off to this other cat.
Yeah. Well, actually, my friend was the guy who was that guy's middleman.
Right. Okay.
And then I was a middleman for somebody else. I was the guy who was just. I was the guy who.
Yeah, you're just kind of brokering people, basically.
I was the broker's guy. I broke the deals.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so basically, when I met my friend, I'll leave his name out of it right now because the guy actually passed away, so rest in
Right.
peace.
We'll just leave his name out for now.
Leave his name out,
Right.
and I do say that karma.
That's his name. His name's Karma.
His name is Karma.
We'll call him Karma.
So Karma had a friend that was asking him to get some methamphetamine.
Now, Karma's friend was the undercover agent.
All this time, Karma's friend was an undercover agent.
And Karma had no idea.
Karma had no idea that he's been working with an undercover agent.
And how long do you think that those two knew each other?
They knew each other. They came up to me in August of 2005.
But how long did Karma know the undercover guy? How long they been running?
When I finally read some of the reports, Karma had known this guy. They were trying to get something going in March, April.
Okay, so not a very long time, under a year.
Under a year.
Right. So it's like a new friend, right? They're new buddies. They're new friends.
And they work together.
Oh, so he was like his informant. He turned Karma into an informant, and that's how you end up getting rolled up.
Well, he didn't actually turn Karma into an informant. He was placed to that place because basically, you know how an informant works.
Yeah.
If he got in trouble, now he needs some time taken off, and so now he's going to find someone to help him.
Right. Yeah.
So Karma was his guinea pig to go out and search.
But he knew at the time he was gonna. Did Karma know at the time that they were trying to pinch you, or didn't? No, he didn't know. So he didn't know. He didn't involve him yet on that aspect of it yet.
Because Karma was already trying to look for stuff with other people.
Right. Okay. So the informant he was playing everybody at this time, and keeping it undercover.
Playing a great game.
Right.
So Karma lived up to his name.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So when they end up finding me, they kind of basically hit a gold mine.
Sure.
Because
a black mine.
But the black gold, oil that is.
Yeah, oil.
they were able to get me, and I was like, oh, okay, let me see what I can do.
Okay.
So within there, I'm like, I'm searching. I'm going through my Rolodex.
Yeah.
And I happened to bump into a couple friends that I knew and asked them, and they were like, yeah, we can do this. No problem.
Right. Okay. Can I ask you? Let's talk. What was the weight exchanged on this? How much did you get pinched for? How much were you the middleman for? What's the weight?
Well, we did a couple.
Go ahead. I'm
we did
sorry.
a couple of transactions.
Right.
The first transaction was a little small, like taster transaction of maybe like an eighth or something, and then it went from a little higher to a quarter. And what would happen in these situations would be, I would get the price. They would call me. Oh, excuse me. Karma.
Whoops.
Karma would call me, and he would say, "Hey, we're looking for something," and I would say, "Okay, well, let me go see if I can get in contact with my boys and see if we can make this happen."
For that price, for that number.
For that price. Well, he didn't ask. I was the one setting the tone and the number.
Right. Oh, because you were taking. Yeah, okay, got it. I get it.
So my connection would say, "Hey, this is what we want," and I would say, "Okay," and I'll put my little percentages on it because I'm doing that.
Right. No.
And would go and we'll meet at this Rite Aid, and we'll go to the Rite Aid and we'll meet each other, and then we'll basically do the exchange. Now, how it would work was, I wasn't involved in the actual drug exchange. I would basically just go to the spot. My guy knew his price, the other guy knew his price, and the guy would always put it in the envelope in the package. I would grab the package.
It was like a secret drop, a dead drop.
A dead drop. I'd pick up the package and I'll go home.
Got it.
Because I would make sure that all the money was there. So after they did whatever they had to do, then my boys would come to my house, they'd get their cash, and then I'd take my little profit.
And that's it.
And that was it.
All right.
And this whole time, did you think anything at all? Or it never crossed your mind that this was happening? I mean, you watch movies?
Listen, we watch movies, we do everything, and it didn't cross my mind not one time that this was going on.
Was a pinch.
You know, because I was waking up every morning and going to work every morning and doing my daily things, stuff that I do, and then he wanted another set of drugs.
Yeah.
So when he asked for the next one, I contacted my friends.
And and it's getting incrementally bumped up every time, yeah.
Bumped up.
That's how it rolls.
And I know I should have known from it went this, and then it went to this.
From the 8th to that
and
to that, it was all coming pretty fast. And how much time months in between is this all happening? Is this week after week after week?
This is like within 3 months.
Okay, right. So it's going pretty fast.
It started in August, September. I remember he wanted some stuff, and I couldn't get it for him. And I remember telling him that you know what, maybe I can get you some cocaine.
Hey, was it becoming a hassle for you? Like, was it becoming like I got a little tedious?
It was a hassle because he was always calling me.
Yeah.
I never called him. Our Karma would call me and say, "Hey, can you hook us up? Can you?" And I'm like,
Okay, so here I have a question. And so after you guys' first like hookup, is that why you were kind of burned out? Like, you already kind of made the introduction. Could they have gone without you and made these deals?
Yeah, but
they like I said, I think
why you?
Why me?
Because they thought they had the gold mine.
They didn't have the other guy yet?
Well, the other guy didn't trust. They didn't do the exchange. They didn't trust him. They didn't trust.
Gotcha.
In any kind of deal that you do, you have to have a trust system.
Right.
So even though that guy that had the drugs was there and they talked to each other and did everything, they didn't trust each other yet. So
Right.
I'm their liaison.
The go-between, right.
I'm the middleman. I'm the one that makes sure that the deal goes good. So,
okay, so let's get to the so you've been doing a couple of missions here and there, some trade-offs, and then you finally get to the one that clips you. And how much weight was that one for?
well, here's the story in this one. After a while, they kept calling me and saying, "Hey," what had happened was the guy calls me and says, "Hey, my friend is having a white party and he wants to get a big load." So I'm sitting here going, a white party. And I kind of remember what white parties are. White parties are pretty much we're pretty much
right. Didn't Puff Daddy used to do a lot of white parties?
Well, everybody wears white, and usually a lot of gay people have them.
Yeah.
And it was up in San
Not that there's
Francisco.
anything wrong with it.
No, I love gay people. Mwah. But the guy,
They're
gay.
very well known for throwing good parties.
They throw great parties, and he says he was going to throw this party in San Francisco, and they needed a shit ton of methamphetamine.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. And I'm in my head, I'm thinking, that much meth.
How much meth?
They wanted 10 pounds.
Oh, Pook, man. Come on. That's the...
Listen, I know.
All right.
I mean, I know it was a dumb.
That's a fucking jump from a fucking eighth and a
Well,
party, a
eighth
weekend
and a
party.
quarter pound,
Yeah.
10.
No,
So,
yeah.
you know the rules of, if anything, you go. And I'm already in my head because I was taught by someone before that it was time to go.
Right, but you're also thinking in the back of your mind, like the percentage, the cutoff of that, you're gonna make some ends. You know, right? I mean, honestly.
Yeah, but you know what? This is, in all honesty, I was like, oh, you know, my life could be perfect with this right here. You know
Right.
what I mean?
No, exactly.
Yeah,
You started to do some math.
The math was beautiful.
Oh, fuck, we're Downey kids. We're horrible at math.
But that math added up.
But here's the funny thing. I contacted my boys who had it, and I said, listen, man, and this is what, and I'm being all honest with you, America, when you see this. I knew that was a strange amount, right? And
Yeah.
deep down in my heart.
It was big.
It was big. We've watched movies.
Miami Vice.
Everything is just a little too big. And I call up my boys and I say,
Milwaukee Vice.
I say, hey, he wants to get some more stuff. And they go, well, how much does he want? I said, he wants 10 pounds. And I say to myself, I'm waiting for these guys to say, burn your phone, burn your house.
Right, break it.
Get the hell up out of there.
River dump.
It's over. You need to find a new place to live. Get out of here.
Yeah.
But instead,
But nobody boxed.
he says,
They did math too.
yeah, he says, I'll call you right back.
Right. Wow. Okay.
Okay, so then
They trusted you. That's what it was. They trusted
it was
you.
all the trust.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
you
so-
they trusted.
So then I'm sitting here going, and they call me back and they go, about a half an hour later, they call me back and go, yes, we can do that. I'm like, you know, I didn't ask, like, no, you're
Right.
not telling me to leave. They're just like, yeah, we can do this. So what I end up doing is,
Okay, wait, just real quick. So from the time they say you can do this, from the time you get clipped, how many days that goes in? How many days are in between the deal?
man, it's about 2 months.
2 months to set this up, huh? So they have to cook still. They have to.
2 months of a headache. It was driving me crazy.
Wow.
Because it had come to a point where I used to call him the money man, was calling me. Well, Karma had kind of got out the picture. Because
Right.
Karma was calling me every day.
Right, and now he's got the informant. He handed off to the informant. Now the informant and you were
Now
talking,
the foreman and I were
and he's
one-on-one.
calling. He's bugging. Now he's on your
Oh,
tip
dude,
all
he's
day.
calling me every day, every hour.
So for 2 months, Pook, this is going on for 2 months, and you're trying to set this up, and in 2 months you have all this time to think about it, and it never gets weird.
Because what would happen is the money man would say, hey, okay, I'm ready. I got the money. Let's go. And then I'd get in contact with my people, and they'd say, we don't got it. But then my people would say, we got it. And then the money man wouldn't have it. So what I didn't even really know what was happening, I didn't know this until I got arrested. What was happening was, with it being the feds, they could only check out the money so many.
Oh, right. Okay, they can only pull the money out for the
Pull the
buy.
money, and then
For
if
the
it doesn't
buy.
work, they gotta
Right.
turn it back into paperwork.
Yeah. So it's a constant
So
go
it's
back
a
in
constant
between.
back and forth.
So no one's schedule's lining up for 2 months basically.
Yeah, and I also find out that they couldn't do any deals after 5 o'clock at night. So anything they
That's
had to,
funny that they have rules.
The
They have
fucking
rules.
feds have
They-
a curfew.
they have rules.
They have curfew
So-
on money.
So speaking of the feds right now, at this point in the story, where have they moved into?
they moved into this apartment building right across from me, and they were, and I really didn't pay
Like
any mind
like
to
in
it.
the movies.
Like in the movies, they're at this apartment building right across from my apartment.
Not
building.
across from your stairwell, but across from your courtyard.
From across my courtyard. No,
Yeah.
So
they're
in the
all
same
building.
but in the same complex?
No, they're in another building, like the back
Okay.
of another building, and they're all set up. And it used to be funny because I used to always see these kids and hear this family, these kids, like all the time. But I didn't hear them no more. Like they just moved one day. Like,
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how far into the process did now that you can look back and do it and you've had 10 years to reflect, how How far into the process did those kids leave and the feds move in?
See, now that I think about it, it was because once me and that guy, the money man, got together, the process took three months for everything. From August, I got in trouble in like November, so like August to November, it was like in between there, so it wasn't really long.
Right.
They busted me in 3 months of time of investigating me. It was like, we got the biggest methamphetamine dealer in Hollywood. And I'm like, who?
Who?
Who? You go, me? There has to be bigger and better.
I'm the kingpin of methamphetamine in Hollywood.
No, you are not.
You put that together in 3 months. Okay.
Okay. So
back to the feds can't go past 5 and they follow the money.
So they followed the money, and then so I basically told my guys, I said, look, man, this is how much I told the guy what it was worth. And my boys who had it were like, they were shaking their head because of the price that I was.
What's the price?
What'd
What'd you tell them?
I told them 11,500 per.
And in 2005, is that a good price?
It was because it was.
You say per pound?
Yeah.
I'm no good at math, but that's 6 figures.
Back then, it was only they were giving it to me for like 6,200.
Right. So you upcharged. You put the that's what I'm saying. I mean, right? You're doing the math.
So and then when I told them, they were just like,
"Fuck yeah, we're doing."
So you're looking
this.
to make like 40, 50 G's on it.
No. Well, if you do.
Well, after you give them theirs.
No, because they only wanted 62.
Okay, and then you got 11.
5.
All right.
So just do it times 10.
All right, so about 50. Yeah, about 50 grand.
We're going to it was looking like nifty 50. You know.
Nifty 50, everyone. Oh, let's take the nifty 50, everybody.
And you know what happens? I'm gonna tell you, like, and people know this, that money is the root to all evil. Because I started already pre-spending. I'm like, I'm gonna buy out my apartment for the year. I'm gonna buy myself a little truck.
And that's what happened.
Get down to
Your head
Ikea.
started moving the other. Your head went the other way.
Same-
Instead of thinking that this is bad, you're like, what
Exactly.
can I do good?
Because you're seeing this, you're thinking about the positive part. So you're like, hey, the money is already spent. When they say don't count your chickens before the eggs hatch, that is a true statement. You know, because you don't know what's going on. So my mind is like, I want a Jaguar, I want this, I want that. But you guys, I'm really humble. I just want to.
You're gonna park your Jaguar in East Hollywood?
Oh yeah, I'm right by Los Feliz.
Yeah.
Come on.
Hook just wanted a couple cool lava lamps, and some new IKEA furniture.
You know, I wanted to do Airbnb before there was Airbnb.
Right.
And I just started counting. But then after a while, because it wasn't happening, I told my guys, hey, you know what? You can have this. I don't even care. I'm going to work.
So you tried to walk from the deal. You tried.
I promise you, I tried to walk away from the deal. I didn't care anymore.
Right.
And my guys, when they saw the amount, they were just like, whoa. Like, you know, they were like, wow. And I said, look, if you guys want to break me off, something, break me off. I don't care, you know.
Right. But it's all you now.
It's all you guys.
Right.
'Cause I got tired of the phone calls.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
It's just driving me insane.
Right.
So then, from that point right there, one day my boys call me up and say, hey, we got that for you. Since you've already went this far with the deal, we're going to go ahead and let you finish it off.
So they bring it to you.
So no, they didn't bring it to me yet. They were like, they just told me the day it was going to happen. So everybody was ready, the time and everything we're going to do. And I remember that morning so well because I got up that morning and I went to work. I was working at Bank of America, so I went to work.
Just wow, Bank of America, and like you have to go through some background checks to work at Bank of America. That's what's so crazy. I mean, you just don't
go through a federal background check to even get in there. So you know, and it was kind of like the corporate.
So the kingpin worked at Bank of America.
No, not the kingpin. And so I go to work, I do my job, and I get in my car. Bam! I get in my car, and and all this time, the feds were following me every morning.
For 3 months.
Yeah, they're following me.
Yeah, on you.
I remember one time coming down my stairs, get in my car and go to work, and there's this guy dressed up like a bum.
Oh yeah, I remember the story.
And he, I see him digging in our trash, and we usually don't have people digging in our trash. And I tell him, hey, you can go ahead and dig in our trash because we have good bottles and stuff here, but if you come back, if you leave it dirty, you come back, I won't let you back here again. And he was like, oh, okay, no problem. But
The whole time he's like, fuck you, man. I got a shield in this pocket, bro.
he was playing super undercover.
Right?
That was
He's
that guy.
This isn't real dirt, Holmes.
That guy at the end was my arresting officer because when I saw his face,
Oh,
I
no
remember
shit.
It was the same guy that was digging in the trash,
Right.
trying to look for
Wow.
information.
He was getting close to
He
you,
was
man.
getting close,
Yeah.
all up on me. He was all
Sitting there on your fucking stair stoops, on your stairs going down, just chilling with his fucking dirty fucking pants and his bag of bottles.
blending in.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
So
And there you are going, here.
here,
Oh,
go ahead, you can have it.
Yeah, you're like, don't be dirty when I get back. If you leave this a mess, I won't be leaving no.
He must have
fucking-
He must have walked away thinking, man, that's the nicest drug dealer
That's
I've ever
the
met.
nicest guy ever. But what's kind of funny with that too, how you guys say that is, when I was at the house, I mean, those guys were following me. They must have been like, dude, we're going to great parties. What is this guy doing?
Right? No, yeah, you're taking them all over fucking L.A. and
There's
Hollywood.
constant women
party-
coming to the house.
Right,
You
right.
know, it's like they're coming up
They
and
probably
down.
got you on tape, boning, all kinds of shit, man. They do.
'Cause I used to call my house the stable. So, the women were coming because I hear
In and out,
you hear-
ponies.
You hear the high heels, click
Yeah.
to click, so I call it the stable, So I know they're like, dude, there's something going on with this
Right.
guy
No,
over
that's what I'm saying. Dude, they probably still have they still have the videos. They play that shit at stag parties when those guys get fucking married and
here.
shit.
There's party central going on over there.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I go to work, and when I go to work, I do everything. I get off work, and I'm like, okay, cool. So I jump in my car, and I go straight to Albertsons, because I'm like, okay, man, I'm about to load up my refrigerator. Load this thing up.
Dreaming.
So I'm dreaming. I'm like,
That was the first thing you were going to do after the deal? Was walk into Albertsons and go
I was
grocery
doing
shopping?
that- I was doing that before,
Gotcha.
so I could just relax while I was counting cash.
Gotcha.
So I went in Albertsons. I bought chicken. Excuse me, I'm black. And then I bought a whole bunch of stuff. So you got to remember, this is like November-ish times. Like it's in November.
Thanksgiving's coming.
And usually in the market they have the Thanksgiving stuff and the Christmas stuff around that time. So I got all my stuff in my basket, and I go and get ready to pay for everything. I'm throwing everything up on the conveyor belt, and this little Armenian kid comes up to me, and he has like a pack of Hot Wheels, and he doesn't even know me from dirt, and he puts the Hot Wheels on top of the
Throws it up on your food?
Just throws it
On
up there.
your belt?
Just throws it up there. And
You got me, buddy.
boop, boop. And then the lady, the cashier she goes, hey, do you know this little kid?
Is this your Armenian kid?
And I go, no. And she goes, well, he just put these Hot Wheels on here. And I look at it, I go, how much are they? I think they were like $45 some change. And she goes, I go, go ahead, get him.
Yeah.
Kingpin.
I'm
Kingpin.
going to be rolling in like minutes from now, hours, lady.
I got you,
Come
kid.
on, kid.
I got you.
Merry Christmas.
And I'm like thinking, if I can't afford these $5 Hot Wheel cars, I shouldn't even be in here. But I was thinking like our childhood, race cars.
It's like
big.
yeah, got it.
So she's just ringing away. She's bagging my groceries, and she goes, "This is the big shocker, and it always stays in my head till this day. It will always stay there." She says, "Dude, that was a really, really sweet thing that you did." And she looks at me. And she goes, "God's gonna do something real special for you." So I'm like, okay.
Right on.
All right. Okay, God's gonna do something real special for me. Okay. So I get out. They had a Bank of
50
America
grand
there.
special.
I take all the money I had left in my pocket. I deposited in the little Bank of America inside there.
Yep.
Talk to the girls. I'm like, I'm gonna be money free.
Yeah, ladies. I'll call you later tonight. Yeah.
Call it a good night, ladies.
Yeah.
I hop in my car, and the market's like no more than 2-3 miles from my house. So I park my car in my parking spot in the back. And this time I didn't, because I wanted to leave it open for the guys because they were coming with the big load. So when I get there, I park in the front of my house, and right when I get there to park, I pull in, and as soon as I get there, there's a car that's parked right next to me. And I just, all of a sudden, I see, like, he hit the back of the seat latch it, and he falls, and he goes back, the seat goes back. And I saw it through the peripheral of my eye, but I didn't really pay no attention to it, because I'm like, there's been many...
It's East Hollywood.
Yeah, it's been many times that I've came home from a long day at work, pulled the seat back, and just sit there and puff on a nice joint before going back upstairs.
Sure.
Sitting in my car, rolling
Yeah,
the
yeah.
windows down. So I'm like, I'm not tripping on it. And it's East Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's Armenians and Thailand people, cats from Thailand. So I look at the guy. I didn't see him. I grab my groceries. I go upstairs. I put everything away. Well, the night before this deal had happened, one of my friends had flew in from Hawaii, and he was like, "Man, you don't got a bomb?" And I was like, "No." He's like, "We went to a head shop. I knew that everything was going down, so I bought like this $200 bomb,
Got
course
some
you did.
hardware.
this $80 stem,
Right.
you know." And then he took me to Home Depot because he was like, "I'm anti-lighters and I'm anti."
Need some propane.
He's like, "I'm anti-lighter
Butane.
and I'm anti-matches. So let's go get one of those shrink wraps." You know?
Oh, right, the
he's
heat- the heat
yeah,
jobs, the heater jobs.
Smoke off heat shrink
Jesus
wraps.
Christ,
So I
that's-
buy all this stuff. I spend like $300-$400 on a bomb. So
Plus the fucking Hot Wheel cars. Plus the groceries.
I mean, I'm just spending money like crazy. And I get upstairs and I had just got a QP of some good green herb. And I get there and I'm looking around. I'm like, okay, everything's cool. Start putting my clothes, my groceries away. And then my boys call me and say, "Hey, we're here." So I say, "Hey, take my parking spot so we can be undercover. Go ahead and take my parking spot."
Park next to the undercovers.
So they pull up into the spot. They come upstairs. And when they come upstairs, we're
And that spot was an underground, like a carport,
Carport.
behind the alleyway, right?
Yeah.
All right.
So when they come upstairs, we sit down. We eat some chicken. We're burning some bowls. Everything's going good. We're just waiting for everything to happen. And then my phone rings. So when I pick up the phone, well, let me go back 1 second. The guys say, "Hey, you know what, Pook? We got a little problem." I go, "Well, what's the problem that we have?" He goes, "The problem that we have is that instead of 10, we only have 5." I said, "Okay." I said, "You know what? I don't care if you got 2, 3, 4.
We'll make it work.
Let's just get this over."
Right,
with
yeah,
because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
driving me crazy, and then I can let them do the rest of the work.
Yeah. You're just,
I
Get
want
this
to
over
get
with. Get this over
my
with.
part over with.
Yeah.
'Cause it's gone this far,
I hear
and
you.
we've dragged it. So when the money man calls, he tells me, he says, "Is everything okay?" I go, "Well, no, not really." I go, "The problem is that we only have 5 and not 10. So he goes, "I got to make a phone call and see if that's okay, and I'll call you back." Because I had previously told him, put everything, all the money in a bag, and then when the bag comes, we're going to do the exchange. When the car comes, I'm going to give you the
Right.
package, and I'm going to grab the package.
Right. So now they're scrambling because the count's for 10 pounds.
Yeah.
And now they can't obviously give you 10 pounds money for 5 pounds weight.
So I just told him, "Hey, split the bag right down the middle,
Right.
and everything's going to be perfect." So he says,
Right.
I'm going to call
Just
you back."
eye it. Look at it.
Just eye it. So he says, "Okay, no problem. I'm going to call you back." So maybe like 20 minutes later, I get a phone call. So this is what we call mistake number 2. I get the phone call, and he says, "Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. I'm downstairs right now." And I gave him that crazy dog look.
Yeah.
Kinda,
Like, what?
"You're downstairs." In my head, I'm like, "What are you doing downstairs? You don't know where I live. I've never told you where I
Oh,
live.
shit, Pook. So, oh, my God.
I've never told this cat where I live."
You've never had him at your house prior. Nothing.
You know the saying. I mean, the old saying, because you don't eat shit in the same space.
Right.
You know? So when I do
But we all have.
When I do my little party with the females, we
Sure.
dance up in there. And
Yeah,
the
you got to
guys.
shit eventually.
But I don't do business at my house like that.
Right.
I mean, I got to have somewhere where I can lay my head and not have to
Right.
worry about it. And I was kind of stunned, like, "Oh shit, excuse me." And then
It's fine. It's a perfect reaction.
I don't want to tell my buddies, because we're dealing with real cash now. No matter how much of a friend is your friend, you don't know if they I don't know if they have a gun on
No,
them.
that's what I'm saying. You're dealing with cookers and gangsters. Like they don't want to be seen by nobody.
Dealing with a whole different breed
Right.
of people when it comes
Right.
to this situation.
So what was your first thought?
So my first thought was, I went through like those 3 scenarios where you see those movies and they go, shh, things go, and I go, I don't want to tell these guys this, because then
No, what was your first thought? Why he knew where you lived?
that, well,
Well, that's what he's
first
saying. He's
thought
going through all
was-
these scenarios.
My
and
first thought was, oh shit. That was my first thought. But then I said, well, maybe told him where I live.
All right.
Oh, I mean,
Karma.
told him where I live, and I had to play that, but I couldn't tell the guys.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. You're trying to keep it. You're
them.
You're trying to keep it steady for sure.
So I tell them, I said, hey, you know what? I go, hey, he's downstairs, and since you guys already know him, he's downstairs, and since you guys already know him, you can go down.
Go grab him, and bring him up.
One guy can meet him, and the other guy can take me to go get the other. So this is mistake number 3 where I messed up. Mistake number 3 was me going down with the guy to go get the product.
Yep.
What I should have done was switch the roles, and I should have went
With the
that
dude,
guy
right? Is not get your
and
hand
had
on the
those
weight
guys go get that
because you had your hand on the weight.
because I have my hand on the actual stuff.
Right.
So now everything that they put together.
Right. Exactly. They're all when they categorize everything. You were holding product. So
I was holding product.
Right.
So when we go downstairs. My buddy goes down and meets him because they already have their conversation because they know each other. And I go with the other guy and grab the stuff and we come out. So as we come out, we introduce everybody and we're walking. He goes, yeah, my buddy's going to be right around the corner with the car and we're going to do the exchange. And then I said, okay, no problem. So his phone rings. And when his phone rings, he says, yeah, okay, all right, hold on one second. K-Poop, in his gayish voice, he goes, K-Poop, can you show me what's in the bag? And I go, yeah, no problem. So it's like a North Show's bag, so I grab the bag, I hold one end of it. He goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, there's 5 in there. Okay. We'll see you in 1 second. As soon as this is flip phone era.
Right.
So as soon as he flips the phone and turns it and closes it.
Yep.
There was people coming from, I thought rocks started turning into AR-15s. People were jumping out of trees.
Right. I remember you telling me like people coming up over the fence in the alleyway.
It
I mean,
was
like you said, like 20
Easy
officers.
20 officers coming from every angle.
Undercover, out of everywhere.
Everywhere, and I'm like, where were these guys hiding at?
Right.
Like it was kind of.
What are you talking? They were hiding. They were pulling trash out of your trash can. They weren't even hiding. They were just in plain sight.
All I remember is like the helicopter coming, and I remember on Hollywood Boulevard, the police had stopped the cars and stopped the traffic, and then.
So they had this all shut down. They shut this all down.
Oh, yeah,
to
the kingpin.
They already had it ready.
Yeah.
Because it's crazy. Like at any point in time when I came downstairs and we were walking towards Hollywood, if any of us would have stopped and turned around and looked, we would have saw them.
Everybody like
to go secure the area.
Yeah, everybody all just waiting for the hunt. Yeah.
But luckily for them, we just kept kept the blindfolds on the side of our heads
Sure.
like a horse.
Yeah, just counting cash.
I wonder how much of that they were trying to look at keep your attention, like look over here,
Yeah,
and
they got it.
they were
trying to
keeping
get it
you
down to the
engaged. They were
sides.
keeping you engaged.
So when they come and they're like, put your hands down, everybody get down, and I'm like, oh, and I hate to say, I was kind of dumb because I had a friend named Mr. John Huck, and I thought for some strange reason, because at that time he was working for Punk'd.
So you really thought this was a punk deal?
So I'm like, am I getting punked right now? He's like, get down, and I'm like thinking about it, and all of a sudden, we're all 3 of us are laying down, and I hear this car come down the street, and I see this car comes and it stops right by us. It's like not an ATV, but those old Astro vans. And 2 guys come out. They're all covered up. Their faces are covered up and everything. And they come out and they walk right over to the guy, the money man, grab him, pick him up, and take him, throw him in the car, and they take off.
And they just leave.
And then all of a sudden, me and my boy look at each other, and I go, "Oh shit!"
You and Karma.
No, Karma's not even.
Oh yeah,
Karma's not even in it.
Right.
Me and my buddy, we look at it, and we go, "Oh."
The guy from
shit.
Hawaii. The guy that came from Hawaii, your friend?
No, my guy from Hawaii was somewhere else. He didn't even know that this was happening.
Okay.
He's at the Bonaventure hanging out.
Sure.
Waiting for me.
Yeah, after tonight.
Yeah. And we look at each other and said, oh. And then next thing you know, they're walking us back. And something about the feds, they want to bring you back to the Hall of Shame. So they're like got me in front of my house.
They paraded you around?
They paraded me around, and they're taking their pictures with everything in front of my face.
No shit.
And you know, this is making a spectacle out of everything.
In front of the Nordstrom, like with the brown bag and all that stuff?
Yeah, they pull it.
How was it packaged? Was it was it greased up in like a plastic bag? Like
it was a, normal package.
Taped, wrapped, cellophane?
You know the normal
It's the
drug
same
packaging.
Normal Mexican cartel
Sure,
packaging.
right, got it.
So it was all wrapped up real good and dandy, and they're sitting there just taking all these pictures. Neighbors are coming out, and blah blah blah, this and that, and but one of the funny things was the guy who was standing on top of me was like, Mr. K Pook, AKA Pooky, AKA he like had every AKA he could possibly think of me, and he's like, I had to bring all these guys out for you, because you're kind of a big guy. And I didn't know what you were gonna do.
What a dick.
And it was the dickhead that was in
the trash can.
The trash can.
Right.
Guy.
Yeah,
He didn't know what you were gonna do. You were the nicest guy to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Why did he think at all that you were gonna cause a fuss?
But he felt because I had to bring all these guys.
Been sizing you up for months.
Size me up and get ready. So he was ready for me, but he didn't realize that I was Yogi the Bear. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm chilling, but I ain't going nowhere.
Right.
I ain't trying
What's
to get
up?
shot. Are you crazy? You might. I flinch wrong would have been all over with. But so we go to downtown and MDC, and from there they just start. They do the old interrogation. Who's this? Who's that? And I got to keep code of honor. And for anybody out there that's paying attention, the code of honor is you don't snitch on anybody. You don't snitch on your brothers. You don't snitch on anybody. You take full responsibility of what you did.
Right? It's the good fellas. Like, you always keep you keep your mouth shut and you never snitch on your friends.
Never snitch on your friends. And when I was in there, I was just basically saying, they're like, who's this? Who's that? And I'm like, wait a minute. You guys are doing the homework. You guys know what it is. And they're asking me, what did you have to do? I'm like, look, I'm going to tell you my role and my role only, what my part is and my part is only.
That's what you're going to
in
get.
This situation, that's what you're going to get. Oh, man. I said, hey, if you want weed, I can tell you about some guys that got a whole bunch of weed.
Right? You want to bust weed farmers? I got that.
I got that all day because I knew.
But I'm not giving up any cookers for
because
methamphetamines.
I knew they would need a truck worth of weed to even make it worth anything.
Right.
And I was like, yeah, I got some weed guys. I can get you those guys all day.
The old dirty Mexican
And I remember
weed.
the guy was saying, if you say weed one more time.
We want to know about the meth.
So I gave him, I said, listen, I'm going to tell you my part only. That's it. That's all you're going to get. And then he kept saying, you know what? You don't want to help us out? All right. Well, you're going to see, because you're a small fish in this big pond, and you're going to get hit with the most time because you won't help us. You're not going to help the government? Well, we're going to make sure the government doesn't help you.
All right, and with that right now, we're going to get to part 2 on that. We're going to say goodbye to Terry right now. Our producer's going to have to split. So we're going to take a quick break, and we'll get to part 2.
Good stuff.
All right, so we're back, Pook. So let's pick it up. So you back? You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, so you get clipped, the big SWAT team show in the alleyway. You get picked up, and they take you down. They run you through the formalities of how long. So how long was it before you? How many months was it from the night you got arrested before they actually send you up to TI?
I had
That's Terminal Island for everybody.
Terminal Island. I had almost a whole year.
You had a whole year out from the night of the arrest.
From the night, I had to stay in MDC for about.
What's that?
That's the holding facility for Los Angeles when you first
Got it.
get arrested.
Yeah.
On a federal charge. They put you there. You sit there.
And the real pretty building there off of the
Alameda, right off
Alameda and 101 right there. Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah.
So basically, what that place is, that's where you sit there before you go to court.
Right.
And if you have a real short sentence, you could do your time right there. But
Right.
You don't want to do that.
Right. Okay. So you get pulled. That's where you get taken for night front one.
Mm-hmm.
And how long was your stay there?
Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks you're in.
Because my mother bailed me out. Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I love you.
So okay, so those 3 weeks you're in the federal the lockup there and off of Alameda downtown, and then they release you. You get bailed. Your mom bails you out, And then you go back to Downey?
I go back. Well,
You're back to your apartment. Sorry.
They empty out my mom and everyone empty out my apartment. And
the feds didn't let that get locked up. They allow your parents or friends and family to come get your shit and put it. All right.
Yeah. The only thing they took was my car.
Right.
They took my car.
Is that the Woo Woo at the time?
No. That was the Buick. That was when I was rolling like Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods with the 9-iron in the window.
I had the cool Buick, and the real sad thing about the Buick was I inherited the Buick because my grandfather Simon had died.
Simon.
So my grandma's like, "You can just have it," and I felt real bad because I lost that car because it was a piece of him. But they took it because there was marijuana in the car. It was a.
There you go.
Yeah.
This guy.
This guy has
drugs everywhere. There's drugs
everywhere. And one thing I have to say, those shiesty feds, they took all my fishing equipment.
Oh, right. That's because that's another part of the what do you call it? Wildlife fishing game. It's all like now federal property.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out. I'm like
state and federal property.
And I had great fishing equipment. You know what I mean?
Right.
I had fishing equipment from my man Jason Seaver, but he had hooked me up with like maybe $2,000 worth of fishing equipment. Huh?
Why didn't they call him?
They took about $2,000 worth of fishing equipment, and when I came back, I was like, "What the hell?" Because they're probably like, "What is this brother doing with all this fishing equipment up in an apartment in Hollywood?"
They probably thought you were fishing for like weed bales out in the ocean. Bringing them in, reeling them in.
But I was upset about that, and they took some of my personal cash. But
okay, so your mom clears your place out, and so
out.
you're in the federal lockup for three weeks. They let you bailed out, and then so where do you go from there?
I go to my mother's house on 96 in Van Ness.
All right, and so you're staying there for a minute, and the feds obviously are keeping an eye on you, and they're clocking in and out with you, and talking and trying, your sentence, and you're getting an attorney, right? You're public defender.
The crazy thing is, it's funny. Like, I'm thinking like, because the law and the feds the law and the feds, they have their own language. They have a lingo that none of us will ever understand
or know the code to.
Or know the code to,
right? Because
it's their own language, and that's what they went to school for. And we went to every lawyer possible. Like first person, what the first person I went to? Johnny Cochran.
Johnny Cochran? You try to employ Johnny Cochran?
I went to Johnny Cochran. I said, Johnny gonna help me out.
Playing the race card.
Johnny gonna help me. Johnny got OJ out. Johnny gonna get me out.
He have you in the alleyway going, look, these gloves don't fit.
These gloves don't fit.
What the fuck, man?
This guy works for the Bank of America.
And at this point, how many times have you been arrested?
Honestly, I've been arrested only 2 times, and that's only for traffic tickets.
Okay.
It's nothing major.
Yeah, so nothing major at all.
Like
Pooky has no record whatsoever.
One of those, you're driving a suspended license.
Bench warrants.
Okay, you can sit here for like 3 days, and then we'll kick you right out.
But that's because you let them go to bench warrants and you didn't go to court and all that shit. So then when you get pulled over the second time, they pull you in, and that's the only thing you've been arrested for.
And because it's over $1,000, they got to yank.
So you're out walking around. Fast forward to you go to court. They give you how many years?
Well, when I go to court, because no one wanted to help us,
okay.
So I got the public defender. So I go to court that day, and the public defender's sitting there, and he's like looking at me. His name is Anthony England, and he tells me, he says, and I never forget, I was pissed off because he's sitting there with his feet on top of the desk. He's reading a newspaper like he doesn't care. He's a brother, cool dude. He's sitting there, and he's like, yeah, I see these cases all the time. Mandatory minimum. You never done anything? 10 years. Don't worry about it. 10 years, don't worry about it. So I'm like, okay.
But is that the deal you think you get? I mean, that's the best you can get already, like right out of the gate?
Well, he just said that off the head when he see these cases all
the time. Right,
but
I'm saying, have you talked to anybody else prior to this?
No, because no one else wanted to touch.
Right, so you don't even get a talk with nobody. They're just like, they turn you down. So this guy tells you what's happening, what the deal is.
Cochran's like, no. I call another guy, they're like, no. Because they don't want to deal with the feds.
Right.
Because the feds
are hard to get around and do deal, and they don't deal. They don't deal.
They don't deal. The one, they don't deal. 2, you don't beat them.
Right.
You don't.
Okay, so when you hear 10 years, what do you think in your head, dude?
I'm like 10. I'm already crapping my pants.
Yeah.
10 years.
Right.
I'm like, this 10 years is 10 years.
It sucks.
It sucks.
Fucking A, right?
That's like, it's not a good feeling.
Okay, so the guy. Let's get you to
So
court.
the guy goes through everything, and he's my lawyer. Then he starts going through my files and stuff, and he's like looking like I hate to say this on air, so I'll change it. He goes, "You're a good ninja. I'm 35. I don't got no kids. I'm not married."
Are we replacing the N word with ninja?
Yeah, ninja.
Oh, he called you ninja?
No, he says you're a good ninja. Because I don't have. I'm not your average.
Right.
I don't have 1,000 baby mamas running around.
Right. You're in between. I guess what he's.
I have a job. I have my own company. I have the T-shirt company, and I've worked great jobs. And I work at Bank of America.
Yep.
So I have to get my approval just to even work there.
Right.
So he's like using all this stuff like this should be a bonus.
And we're gonna get you just the
helping.
10.
Well, not even 10. Trying to get even
Oh,
lower.
that's what I'm saying. He's working on these all good things, getting you knocked down to even from 10.
Let's go and we're gonna knock this down.
So what happens?
So when we go through everything, he's like, I'm trying to look for a plea deal because you never pay attention to America. You never want to go up against the feds in trial, even if you think you've never done anything. They will find something.
Right.
There's a reason why they arrested you.
Yeah. So they basically dare you to go to trial with them because you're not going to win.
Yeah.
Right. It's
So-
how all their up and coming lawyers get practice and become real slick and good.
So I'm waiting.
Taking guys like you to court.
I'm waiting for them to give me a deal. So my lawyer one day comes back to me, and my mother and I, and he says, okay, they're going to give you one plea bargain and one plea bargain only. I'm thinking from all the Law and Order and everything that we watch, plea bargain, they're going to say, 10, and I'm going to say no, and they're going to say, okay, we'll give you 8. I'm thinking,
This ain't Pawn Stars, man.
You're gonna work it down and shit.
okay, well, if you give me this, I give you 8.
Right.
Now, we're going to go back and forth, And I'm thinking, but the feds don't play like that.
Right.
Feds say one number,
Here's your number.
accept it or don't accept it.
Right.
So my lawyer comes back, he goes, I got some bad news. And I said, what's up? He goes, well, they only give you one plea bargain. He goes, I tried to get another one, they only give me one. I go, well, what is it? He goes, it's an open plea. And I go, open plea bargain? What does that mean? He goes,
2 months, sir. I'll take 2 months.
He goes, it means it could be anywhere from 0 to whatever
to the
number
max.
they want.
Right. Oh, any number they want.
Any number they
Well,
want.
that's what they give you the what?
So basically, they're saying you're FCK'd.
Yeah.
We're gonna give
Fucked.
you. We're gonna give you whatever. So I remember I asked him. I said, so you're trying to tell me that if I want 5 years, it's kind of like Tiger Woods sitting on top of a cliff, and there's the hole in one is down the bottom, way down at the bottom, like 200 feet down from the cliff, and he's getting the hole in one, and the chances of me getting less time, he's like, yeah, that's basically what it is.
It's no good, even with
You
Tiger
have-
shooting for you.
Usually,
Tiger in his heyday.
he's like, usually they give you a number, but he's all, they're not giving you a number.
Oh, so they waited the court to give you like the we're making an example out of you. You're getting the 15-8.
So when I tell him, he goes, look, and what was so cold-blooded about the feds is they waited to give me that plea bargain to where it was to the point where I either take the plea bargain or I got a week to decide and we go to court.
Right.
And when I go to court, we're looking at 5 to 30.
Okay, so that week,
30
that week, you have to decide. Do you know it's 15-8 that you have to decide on?
No, we don't. I don't know what. I
right,
don't
you
know
don't
the
know the number
number
yet.
No
It's
number.
an
Right.
open number.
Right. Okay.
The number is wide open.
So you take the week. You go to
So
court.
we say, hey, we'll take the plea bargain.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's
And-
telling me it's the worst plea bargain deal that they've ever heard. Even people in the federal public building, defense building, is telling me, don't take that deal. But that's the only deal that they gave me.
Wow. So you had
So I have to take it.
a gamble of years in jail, or a
gamble.
gamble of years
I
in
got a
prison,
guy that's-
or
I got a guy who's
a bigger
not,
gamble.
I got a guy who's not God gonna decide what he's gonna do with my life.
Yeah. So you had two choices. One was you're fucked, or one was you're way fucked. So
Yeah.
you just wanted to take the fucked.
Well, one was getting fucked by Greece or getting not fucked by Greece.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, you're gonna take the grease.
Yeah, so I want to take the Greece somehow.
Yeah.
Somehow
Oh,
I
man.
want to lessen some of the pain. So when I go to court, all my friends are there. Everyone's there with me. We go to court. And I remember we would go back and forth to court a couple of times. And my lawyer would always tell me, hey, if those doors open up and the marshals come out of those doors,
You know you're not leaving.
you're leaving. You're going with them. So we went to court about 5 times, and all I would do is just listen.
Look at
All I
that
would do is
door.
just look at that door, and it would never open, right? So this last day, he goes. This is the day of sentencing. You know, I'm all nice. I got all my friends with me. We're sitting there, and the guy says, the judge starts talking to me. He says, "Is there anything that you'd like to say?" You know, and I tell him, I'll find the transcripts for you guys later. And I tell him, you know, I just want to tell America that I'm very sorry for what I did, and you know, and I made a mistake, and I was just out of my mind of what I've done, and if you can please just give me some leniency on what I've done,
Right.
blah blah this and that, and I just pleaded out, you know, like,
Yep.
please just give me a chance.
Poured your heart out, just to give me a
Poured my
chance.
heart out.
Yeah.
And my lawyer, I never forget one thing that my lawyer said to me was, he said, "Joshua, I have some good news and some bad news for you." He says, the bad news is, the good news is, if it was any other judge that we had besides this guy,
They'd roll you.
I'd get you whatever number you wanted.
Oh, okay.
But because it's this judge,
He is gonna roll you.
I can't do anything against
Right.
him. They call him Hang 'em High Lou.
Shout out to Hang 'em High, everybody.
You never want to get somebody with a nickname.
Yeah, Hang 'em High Lou. And see,
Right.
the thing, see, Lou didn't know. I did some homework on Lou. The homework I did on Judge Lou is Judge Lou was the first Chinese judge elected by Ronald Reagan. So all of a sudden, everything's
Oh, just say no. His wife, just say
Exactly.
no.
So he's,
Yeah.
you know, and he's being Chinese
Yeah,
too.
the war
So-
on
Being
drugs.
the first?
The war on drugs. He's
Yeah,
like the first
you're
Chinese
it.
judge.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm black, and I had some Asian girls in the back.
Right?
So he was probably like,
He's like, who the fuck does this
Oh.
guy think he is?
you got my women with me?
He goes, you think you're a good ninja now, huh?
You think you're
Good ninja? All right, I'm the ninja.
I want to show you.
I'm the
ninja.
ninja.
So basically, and I remember my lawyer, Mr. England. He went for a long shot. He went for
It's rolling.
He went for a long shot. He goes, hey, I'm gonna try and go for entrapment, right? The reason why he was gonna try and go for entrapment is because after we did that first deal, anyway, they already had me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They already had me at 5 years on the first deal, but they're trying to get me to get more and more and more to build a case.
Did
Yeah.
it matter that it was 5 and 10? Did it make a difference between we didn't have all the 10 pounds?
Well,
Is
this-
weight?
Hey,
Is weight, or
no.
did that matter?
Let's thank the Lord it wasn't 10 because I wouldn't be here talking.
Right.
To you
Really?
No shit. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Number one,
Well,
I wanted
yeah.
to talk to you. And number two, it was the purity that got me in trouble too. These guys are like, this is at 98. I'm like, 98? I'm like, how the hell am I supposed to know this just at 98? I don't know that. So they got me on purity, but I don't know purity.
Right.
I'm just,
Yeah.
I was just the guy
No,
that.
90s crank, they say was, they had that, it was good, man.
They
Good
said-
cookers.
they said I had the best in the house at that time. You know what I mean?
Well,
And I
Kingpin.
didn't even know. I was the kingpin.
The kingpin.
I ran
Wow.
all of it. So then when my lawyer said, hey, entrapment, it pissed the judge off. Like, how dare you say entrapment?
Right.
So then next thing you know, he says, okay, Mr. Joshua, are you ready to get sentenced? And I'm like, yeah.
Like a game show?
It's
He's like, is
a game show,
everybody ready?
Are you ready?
Huh?
So he...
Spin the numbers of life
and you
here.
get a year, and you get a year, and you get a year.
Yeah.
But so then he says,
No, you get all the years.
he goes, we're going to sentence you to 188. So I'm looking and I'm thinking, oh, dude, that's easy. Because when you go to when you go to jail,
Yeah.
county jail, those are
You don't-
days.
yeah. Oh,
188
and you don't
days.
do all the time.
And he's like, and my lawyer's sitting there going, he's doing the math. He's like, oh, that's 188 months. And then he's doing the math, and he's like, he picks up his paper, goes, 15 years, 8 months. And I'm like,
What?
what? Like, I'm like my heart just dropped.
Yeah, I bet.
At that point, my heart was like, oh my God, 15 years, 8 months. And the judge says, do you have anything that you want to say? And I said, yes, I do.
Wait.
Yes, I do.
Is that after
Yes,
you,
I
is that
do.
after, this is after you pled your case and poured your heart out, right? And then he asks you, here, you're getting fucked. Now what do you want to say?
Now what do you want to say?
Do you have anything to say?
Then I said, hey, I mean, instantly, I'm a fast thinker, and my brain goes, Your Honor, I said, I don't know if you've ever went to any of your high school or your college reunions, but when you come back 10 years later from seeing somebody else, there's going to either be some people that are dead or some people that just can't make it, or you've just lost contact with personal friends and stuff. And I go, my grandmother's old, my grandmother's getting old, my mother's getting old. I said, my friends and my girlfriends that are there, I'm going to lose contact with all of them.
Yeah, girlfriends.
If you're...
Have you ever used that word singular term ever?
If you take me away for that long, and I said I need a little more time. He goes, I gave you 11 months to finish everything that you need to tie up everything you need to do and say your goodbyes. And I said, well, I didn't expect to get 15 years. And then he says, what were you expecting? And I was like, not that. Did your lawyer tell you something else? And I was like, no, but I didn't expect 15.
So that's the last time they take you.
So he calls all the counsel up and everything. He calls them to his little
podium,
and he talks to to everyone, and they come back, and I felt like Jeopardy.
Right.
And I'm sitting here, he goes, okay, we're going to give you 90 days to clear up everything, and we'll contact you and tell you what prison that we're going to send you to.
Right.
And I'm like, 90 days? Okay.
You got 3 months to live life, pretty much, yeah.
Okay, so those 3 months, you're back at your mom's?
So the doors didn't open?
So the guys did come, the doors did open.
And your thought was?
But they turned back around and walked on out of it.
Gotcha.
So you get your 90 days.
And the funniest thing was when we were leaving that day, and my mom, everybody's crying. All my friends, everyone's crying. And I'm in the elevator with them, and they're crying. And I never forget, I'm like, I turn around and look at everyone, they're crying. I'm like, why are you guys crying? And they're like, because you're leaving, getting 15 years. I go, I'm not gone yet. We got 90 days. We're going to party every freaking day.
I remember the last party. I remember at that, I think it was like a Western, the Lily Tiger. Remember that last party you had?
I remember that. Yeah. I remember that party.
We're going to party every day. So I feel like an old person. I didn't go to bed till 5, and I woke up at 6. Like, I wanted all 24 hours of my day.
12 hours of light, 12 hours of night.
I wanted it all.
Yeah.
So, and then eventually when I turned myself in, it was a good bunch of friends came and sent me off, and it was kind of sad. It was a sad situation saying goodbye. Felt like Boys to Men. So I'd say goodbye to you today.
Okay. So let's just.
You want to talk about prison while you're in prison, or you want to talk about what he was doing before prison?
No. Let me just wrap up some prison stuff here. So he goes to Terminal Island, right?
Yeah.
Pooky, go to Terminal Island. So my first question about Terminal Island is, do you remember your first day?
Yes, I do. It was kind of scary. When I was getting prepared to go to prison, I didn't know what to expect. Because we know prison.
No, we lived pretty sheltered. Not sheltered life in Downey, but we were good kids. Like I said, you don't have a record. So you're going to fucking Terminal Island prison. So I'm saying it's coming. This realization that you're going to be locked up for a minute with other prisoners is happening.
Yeah, and all the stuff that we know from watching TV.
Right.
We think prison's like that.
Right.
Fist pound on the window.
Right.
And,
Easy.
And people getting shot up.
The fucking hands. Ah.
So.
I'll wait for you, boo. I'll wait for you.
Poetic justice and everything's going. But it was a whole different situation when I went there. You can change your clothes. They're all up your butt. You got your uniform. So you got to always remember the feds are different than the stuff that you see on lockup.
Yeah.
It's completely, because lockup, you'll never see a federal prison on lockup.
Gotcha.
It's always state prison.
States, yeah.
Right,
feds don't want cameras in their fucking business. They're not having it. Yeah, they're smart.
They're very smart.
That's how they stay crafty.
So when I got there, I was just like, whoa, like this is crazy. Like you get your uniform, you're walking around, but it looks like a big giant campus. Where I was at looked like a big. I was like, oh.
I think you turned it into a campus. I know that. I know that.
I was like, oh, this is college, So.
Everyone's wearing khaki. Fucking college.
This is private school.
So in federal, is it the same as it is like in jail, where it's very racial? Like in one end, when you go to jail, you got to pick a team. When you go to prison, a federal prison, is it the same thing, or is it just you're all inmates and you're all what it is?
Well, you got to first of all, when it comes to prisons and federal, there's.
I'm assuming they're both two completely different things.
They're two completely things, but the same.
Okay.
Because at the higher levels of the feds, you really have to start. The politicking goes on.
Okay.
The higher ones at a high.
They're like Gotti.
Supermax, high.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Supermax.
Unabomber,
high,
like I said, it's really well maintained. They don't keep you guys intermingling a lot at the higher levels. Like feds keep their shit locked up tight.
Like they got a prison in Denver right now. When you go underground.
Yeah.
I think it's called Antioch.
Yeah, underground, whole facility.
You'll never see
light of day
ever again.
Wow.
You're down underground, like deep underground.
That's what that movie, The Island, with Ewan McGregor and them. It's like that whole underground facility where you don't like. It's worse than Vegas. You don't know what time it is.
You don't know nothing.
Yeah.
You're just doing time.
Right.
So there's stuff that goes on down there because you're gonna mentally lose it.
Yeah.
But where I'm at, I ended up going to Terminal Island, which is a federal prison that's in Los Angeles.
San Pedro, the harbor.
And San Pedro was actually called Terminal Island because it's a man-made island that was made back in I think the 30s or something like
Do you know?
that.
You know what? You want to know what? Do you know that Terminal Island? What it was before it was Terminal Island?
Wasn't it like a camp where they kept the Japanese?
No. It was a settlement where the first generation and second generation Japanese lived, and then when World War II happened, it was 3,500 of them. That was like the first mass roundup out when they were sending the Japanese to internment camps. Mm-hmm. That's what Terminal Island it used to be. They had their own dialect. They were fishermen.
Yep.
It was their own community, man. It was peaceful. But as soon as World War II happens, that's the first place they round up 3,500 men, lock them up, and send them up to the internment camps.
Well, some of those prisons. One of those prisons were made for the war.
It's an Air Force base. That's the place that the Spruce Goose took off from.
Yeah, no, here it is right here.
That's the first.
There it is. That's it right there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful picture, man. It was a little.
And then here it is
It
with
was a Japanese fishing community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got another one here
look
too.
at those cars, man.
Right.
Hold on. Here it is right here. Look at that.
Yep. And then it was Reeves Air Force Base. It was called Reeves there for a second.
Yeah, Reeves Field. It's called Reeves Field. Look at that. Wow. Look, is that the Spruce Goose?
Spruce Goose.
Told you. That's where
that is
Spruce
awesome.
Goose, that's where it took off from its maiden flight and its only flight.
You know what's crazy? One day they were digging on the terminal to fix one of the pipes because everything in there is super old.
Oh yeah.
And they had broke down and got into this hole and started fixing everything, and I found a Coke bottle, an old Coke bottle, and real seashells. Because if you notice, this is the last time I've been to the beach. When you see seashells,
when was the last time you went to the beach?
The first day I got out. when you look at seashells now, they're super thin because they don't, the minerals.
Yeah, the calcium deposit.
Calcium. Well, when we went down there and they picked up the dirt, I saw a seashell that was super thick, strong, because they used all that dirt to make that island, and those guys had to dig down and. There was historical stuff inside that dirt.
Okay, so back to Scott's question.
And there it is right there.
Did you have
back in the day?
Did you have to segregate?
Did you have to gang up?
Did you have to gang up and put yourself
No, because here's what happens.
Did you have to look across the wood pile and go, "Fuck you, wood pile"?
I got a couple of funny stories about that. But when you go in there,
the house
I'm
mouse.
black already, so I'm gonna be with the black
already.
Mouse.
The house mouse. That's what they call it. That's the guy that's in charge. It's called the house mouse.
The house mouse. The head orderly.
The head what?
The head
ninja, right? Head ninja.
Yeah, the head ninja's different.
HNIC up in this spot. But when you go inside there, you blacks are going to be at the blacks, and then the Mexicans are going to be at the Mexicans. Then you have a different type of Mexicans there.
Right.
You have gang Mexicans and you have border Mexicans.
You have Southsiders.
Southsiders, what they call it.
Okay, so those two would find out who they are, and they'll go to their own. They'll go to their different situation. What really amazed me was seeing the black guys that were like Southsiders. And they'd have names like Blackie, Spade, Darky.
Dreamer.
So I'm like, and I look at them, I'm like, wait a minute, you're black. Wait, what
are you doing?
But he's in a gang.
But it's because they grew up in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's all they know. But they get taken care of.
So it's multicultural, but cliquey.
Yeah, so you had black, whites, Paisas, Southsiders, Islanders.
Right.
And then everything else in there, they had to decide where the hell they were going to go.
Right. And where they're going to land, right?
And then you had chomos. And they were on they had their own little stuff.
Chomos?
What's that?
A chomo is terminology for a child molester.
Oh,
chomos.
Whoa.
How many child molesters would you have to be? What were you corralled with on a day to day?
Well, see, because,
Chris Hansen suspects?
Yeah, because what happens
Tell me you heard a
is-
Chris Hansen story.
This is where they hide them within
The
the
pop.
facility.
Oh, no kidding.
And see, once you get into federal prison, you can be anybody you want to be. You can walk in there.
Right, you make up. You just
You can just make up whatever.
make up what the fuck you did. Wow, I never thought about that. Man, I would have the fucking craziest story. Did you just go? Could you go legit? Did you say, hey, 5 pounds of meth?
I kept
deal?
mine. I kept mine 100.
Oh, I would have had a fucking badass one.
Every day you'd have a different story.
Oh no! I'd have-
What are you in here for now, Todd?
no,
And he's like, you tell him one story the next day. What are you in here for now, Todd? A completely different story.
I would have told everybody the Loud Lab story. I would have told everybody the Loud Lab story. I got caught up in the Loud Lab story. Yeah, that's good.
So you can be whatever you want. And what happens with the child molesters are, they tell these stories of who they are, and they're trying to,
Oh, yeah, toughen up.
And eventually, somebody, if not, I hate to say this, but if not a CEO or some staff member, will let us know, hey,
That he's
dirty. Because
Chomo.
they get to read their file and be like, dude, this guy was fucking his
Right.
kid.
All right, so that's how exactly right there how fucking prison ends up turning on each other, because those CEOs will let that shit leak to you guys. Those dudes,
They wanna do something,
and
but they
then
can't.
you end up giving them the fucking mop broomstick in the fucking chapel.
Like if there's a group of people that go to court and one of those guys are in court, as soon as they get back into the holding cell, everybody says
No, but
that
it's
guy
just
was the guy who
paperwork in
did
general.
that.
It's
That guy was the guy who
paperwork in
did that.
general, dude.
Paperwork
All
in
the
general.
correction officers,
They don't
they
like,
know who everybody is.
It's weird how bad guys have a code of honor, how bad guys don't like bad guys.
Yeah.
But that
No,
is a
bad
different
guys-
type of bad
guys
guy,
like
though.
bad
That's
guys.
a
No, Bad guys
monster.
don't like child molesters.
Yeah,
It's a monster.
Child molester is the worst of the
Yeah.
worst.
Yeah.
Kid
You know what I mean?
touchers.
And sometimes, I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I hung out with some guys and did my thing, and then next thing I know, the mother effers are on TV. Yeah, guess who's getting released? This child molester's getting released because they'll
Oh
put,
no!
And then you
know,
recognize
like-
them, you're like, holy shit.
Wait a minute! You're like when those fuckers get rolled up out sooner than you do. That's what's fucking.
and those
yeah.
guys, they get like 5 years.
Right.
Oh.
They get like no time. No, I'm like, wait a minute. You just
See, that's what I'm saying.
violated
There's such a fucking unbalance of justice.
So with that right there, that got you to, I mean, from the get-go, you knew you shouldn't have been in there
at
for
least-
that long
not
with
that
your
long,
record.
not that
So
long.
how did the process start to get you, well, actually, before we get to that process, let's have some fun about
Right. Let me
prison.
let me add one thing to my story about going to see Pook. So I went to go see Pook like probably 4 or 5 times. Me and my partner Fred, we would go down there a few times. I went down there by myself once and hung out. Like I was there. Remember that day? I remember we sat next to the window and watched the ships come in and out.
It's a beautiful place.
Yeah, it was like 6 hours, 7 hours, just sitting there, you and rapping. But
beautiful place.
Right? No, it was a beautiful view, I guess. Right. But let me just tell you my funny story about my first visit to a federal prison to go see my friend Pook is that. The week I'm going down there with Fred, and we get down there, we get the whole like you can't wear khaki, you can't wear belts, everything's this, that, and the other thing. The prison just switched over. They had concrete benches, right? And they had all that shit in there before, like stationary shit you couldn't move. But there was a lot of fucking under the table fucking touching and all that shit going on. So what Terminal Island does, and maybe if Terminal Island's watching this, they can get a little. Here's my opinion. They said it's safer to give them. We had all these like plastic lawn furniture, like the white chairs, the stackable white chairs and little tables, but everything was movable, and it's all easy to So and Pook's like they changed it like this because it's easy to keep their eyes on you guys and this that. But I'm there for like 15 minutes, and I know the story prior going in that because Fred told me they changed all the concrete tables on this side. But like I'm in there for 20 minutes, and I'm starting to look at, and it's like the room holds about 150 inmates and family, at a time. So we're sitting around, and I'm looking around, and the first thing that comes to my mind is, fuck, man, I go, if like 20 of these dudes want to stand up, snap one of those plastic legs off and turn into a fucking spear and turn on all the fucking guests and family and, kids and moms that are there, I'm like, how the fuck is this safer? I go, there's all kinds of weapons all over the goddamn floor here, man. That's what I thought.
Was there violent offenders, or are they all non-violent offenders?
No, well, because I was at
and that might be the answer.
because I was at
Non-violent offenders.
well, no,
Anybody that's locked up.
I was at a low. So basically, what happens is when you go from a high, you basically work your way down. Because once you step into a low, there's 2 things going to happen to you. You're either going to leave from the low, or you're going to go to the camp. So when you're in the low, you know that door can open, or you're going somewhere else and the door's going to open.
Right.
So a lot of the people, once you get there, your mind is kind of different. Like, the politics are there, but they're not heavy like they were in the medium and in the high, because you're getting ready to go home. Like the blacks and the Mexicans and the blacks and the whites, and everyone's kind of mingling
Real chill.
together.
Yeah.
They're playing baseball
we're gonna hang
together. They're playing basketball together because they know that they're about to go home.
Right.
So it's almost like a readjustment for them.
And just real quick, you played football in prison, right?
I played it one time, and then I broke my Achilles, ripped my Achilles in half. I was only in jail 2 weeks, and I was already in a cast.
That's how fast it happened?
My second week in jail, I went to go play football, and this guy stepped on my foot while I was getting ready to cut for a turn to catch, and I just heard a pop in my system and my leg, and I'm like,
So you broke your leg at camp?
Whoa. Ripped my Achilles.
Broke his leg at camp.
I ripped my Achilles on my second week in prison. So that, kind of, unfortunately, that kind of is what kind of made me gain more weight a little bit, because I was just lazy.
Right.
I
remember. No. Hey, no. I'll tell you this, Pook. Everybody, America. Pook looks super good right now. Pook, on his way out. And the last time I seen him, which I didn't. It's been a while, but the last 5 years, like Pook's dropped 100 pounds, man. Pook, you did get big there for a minute.
Man, I was just sitting there just eating this.
All the microwave food in the visit room.
Really, no, and I just in the microwave in the visiting room.
Oh,
I was a super chef inside there.
Oh yeah, spreads. Let's talk spreads.
I mean, look.
You make how many spreads you make? You make a good spread. What's your specialty?
Spreads. We were eating. Listen, my boys, my crew, B unit. I miss you guys. My crew, we ate steak.
No shit.
Eggs.
Like the Goodfellas scenes.
It was basically
lobsters on ice, huh?
Yeah.
You guys slicing the garlic,
slice it real thin so you can get all that.
So it melts in the pasta, huh?
I used to have steak contests.
No shit.
I used to have steak contests.
See, that's what we're saying. You turned this into camp. Like I don't know any other friend that went to federal prison that I went to visit. I don't have that. You were my only frame of reference, but. I mean, I know you, Pook, and I know fucking 15-8 seemed like it was like a lifetime, but every time I went to see you, man, people, like, every time you came into the visiting room, people were like, what's up, Pook, what's up? Like, before you got to me in the table, like, then they send you to where I'm sitting, you'd pass 20 people, and everybody like, boom, high fives, boom, boom, boom.
Well, see, what happened was, and a lot of people tell me I should write a book on how to survive in prison. And they always like to ask me, how did you do 10 and you come out smiling and you're still happy? Well, this is what I did. When I went into prison, I didn't know what to expect. I remember I had learned I was going to learn how to do MMA fighting, and I was going to call myself Brock.
You fucking broke your leg in the first 2 weeks. You're going to be an MMA fighter? You got your leg snapped in 2 weeks playing football.
So... But I started playing softball, and I was a hell of a softball player. Trust that. I lived for softball.
Right. I remember you playing softball.
And but when you get into prison, man, here's the thing. Everyone's gonna tell you what to do, because going to prison is kind of like having a baby. I don't care what type of book they have to tell you how to raise your child.
It's all on the fly. It's all on the fly.
It's all on the fly.
Right.
But
moment to moment.
I used my common sense when I was in there.
Absolutely.
And my first thing, what I did was, I started looking for the people I hung with were people that reminded me of friends at home.
Right.
So it didn't matter if they were black, white, Asian. I tried to find a comparison of somebody that reminded me, so my life could be.
Did you find a jail Todd? Did you find a prison Todd?
There's a prison Todd.
There's a prison Todd.
There's a prison Todd in there. So with doing that, like, and I got a little, like, my fellow black brothers, my fellow ninjas.
B unit.
B unit. My fellow ninjas, but in the beginning they were just trip on me because I was able to talk to everybody.
No, that's not, and that's what I want to say too. We want to show some footage of you when you get your release date. But there's one thing that the Wandy's brothers were saying, that you encompass I know you did the crime and you were down with doing the time and you weren't going to cinch, you didn't roll on nobody, but 15-8 was just, that was a fucking hard roll. But these kids, of course you made it during your time, because you you're international, Pook, man.
Right.
Like you don't have like if the moment that
Just gonna start letting it roll.
yeah, there's if the moment that there's somebody that feeling left out or segregated or bullied, you're the first one to go, no, fuck that, man. I'm cool with everybody, and your personification of why it should roll that way, it's infectious. It goes. Everybody gets it. Everybody gets it.
Yeah, Mom Dukes. Well, see, one thing was like, I let my own people know, let them know, like, listen, I'm gonna do what I do. Unless you're putting money in my books, you're giving me
sending me magazines.
You're sending me magazines, and you're getting girls to come visit me. You can't tell me what to do.
Right.
Now, if we get in a fight and we gotta unify each other, I'm rolling with you.
Yeah, and you need some weight and some. You want a heavy? Yeah.
But when it comes to me, I had my own motley crew of what I was gonna do, and they were gonna be of every color. I had my own crew.
This is how I roll. This is how I fucking roll.
If you were black or if you were Hispanic and you didn't want to be part of the cliques, then you came with my clique because I had the no nonsense clique.
Right.
I was like, are you human? Are you not gonna? Are you a leader or a follower?
Right.
And I didn't want people to be followers, so I let them follow me because I was like, no nonsense. I was cool.
No,
you know.
You kidding me, man?
And a lot of people thought I was a snitch because what would happen is because I would talk to the officers and the warden and stuff like that. But the reason why the people didn't seem to understand, I had a plan. My plan was to
run TI.
Well, it was to run TI and make TI my own.
Right.
But my plan was to make my adventure easy. So when I'm talking, because I had a couple episodes with some COs, and I remember telling the CO one day, you know what the difference is between me and you? The difference between me and you is that you have a uniform on, I have a uniform on, but you get to go home in 8 hours when your shift is over. But when your shift is over, you got to come back. So you're on a furlough yourself.
Right. You're chained to me.
You
You're chained to me.
home,
You're chained to me.
You're coming to my home.
You're coming to my party.
Yeah, you're coming to my home. And then you leave me and then come back to me.
The prison is our home. This is our
Yeah.
home.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
You're not. This is our home. You're a visitor, and you watch us. So basically, I used to like, you guys are just nothing but big babysitters.
Right. No, I got you. Yeah.
So
You're
after
coming
a
to
while,
my party, motherfucker.
After a while,
That's a good way to turn it and look at it, Pook. And that's like I said, that's your gift. Like, I mean, even like me and Fed, every time we leave and we leave and we drive away, we both be so amazed at like, fuck, dude, like I don't know if I could do it. I would turn into a fucking angry fucking prick, and I would fucking barricade myself in and just wait for the bad day to come every day. But you turn it around and make it,
I don't think only time I cried was when I got out. I smiled every day.
Oh, I know. I got it on tape. Your first cry.
People were like, "Why are you always happy?" Because I know this is going to end somehow.
I'm going home. It's all going to get good. It's all going to be good.
But I like, and I really, with this being this Christmas and this my first holiday, I actually can say I missed my brothers
being in TI.
I miss those guys because I know what they're going.
Well, no shit, dude. Like I said, those are dudes that you rolled with for 10 years. Like I said, and you had to make, your little unit. You had to make your little your culture, your safe spot in there to survive.
Yeah. What ended up? I mean, to hear wardens and lieutenants and officers. And they were all sad when that situation came. They weren't sad because I was leaving. They were sad because now the prison's got to be ran by them. Because whenever there was a problem,
that's great.
Because whenever there was a problem, they'd come to me.
Gotcha.
And say, hey, because I was able to talk to every race.
Mediator.
Yeah.
Look, man, let's get this shit taken care of.
That's fucking
before they come.
That's so good, fucking Pook.
Yeah.
Like that's how he is, dude. That's how he always have been. See, they gotta fuck. Did you get any money when you get out? Did they give you any money? They fucking owe you a fucking shit ton of money for keeping that place fucking legit and calm.
And it's been funny because I've talked to some of my buddies.
Hey, real quick. Hey, what's your lawyer's name? This guy?
Oh man, that's
Andre.
The number one, Andre Townsend.
Andre Townsend.
Dude, that guy.
That's the dude. That's the guy that put all of Pook's basically his paperwork together and worked with his mom and delivered his statement, basically his story to Obama. And sure as shit, he is the first one to be released out of the 214 commuted sentences.
So right now we're watching footage of people waiting for Pook to get out.
I've never even seen it.
And there's a reason why people are waiting. Todd, Pook, can you explain why people are waiting? You're already released. You're released.
No,
but Pooky has to do a little something for the guards and for everybody, and he makes an exit.
Oh yeah, no, he's supposed to be released at 8 o'clock straight up, and it took an hour. It took till like 9:30, 9:45 to get him out of the gates because why? Right, Pook, they paraded you around. You were so well loved at the island that they paraded you around, and you were able to say goodbye to like almost every prisoner.
Everybody. But there was, but you guys didn't know.
I heard you were giving a performance. I heard you were singing. That's the story that I heard.
That was the night before.
The day before, I did a performance.
You did a performance?
But one of the main things, there was a lady that was there who had told me that, hey, the media's there. I don't know why the media's there. I don't know who you are. What's so important about you? She goes,
Are you kidding me? Hey, are you kidding me? 'Cause I was the first one there before any of the news vans showed up. And when I got there, Channel 5 showed up, and he asked me, because I see him some nights out while I'm working, and he goes, hey, what are you here for? And
Channel
I'm
5
like,
Mike.
No, it wasn't Channel 5 Mike. It was a different guy. He asked me, what are you doing here? And I go, this dude's getting out of the prison today. It's my friend. He's like, no way. And I'm like, yeah, way. And he brought me his cell phone. He goes, is this the guy? I go, yeah, that's the guy. And so the prison, like they knew because it was already like a story on the news that you were like, Obama commuted 214 prisoners for trumped up drug charges and mandatory minimums, and you were the first one getting out. Of course the news was going to be there. So I don't know what that person's thinking, or they knew the news was there.
You know, it's funny, like what on this scene right here, what my mother just did to drive into the prison, they've never done that. But they don't let anybody. You're not allowed to have.
No shit.
You're not
drive your
civilian,
Hyundai,
a civilian to go
your
up
Nevada
inside
rented
there.
Hyundai up in the fucking federal prison.
Because
Who that? Who that?
They didn't want me to see the media. They didn't want that at all. They didn't want none of that to even happen.
But you know what I heard then too? After we.
Oh, yeah.
There it is.
There you are, buddy.
That was a great day. This is my first time seeing this. Even the dog, Shantae, that's Shantae barking.
Oh, that's so awesome, man. That's so awesome.
You know, the funny thing is, I wanted this Raiders stuff, and I was hoping that the Raiders would give me some tickets for coming out and shouting out Obama's name and coming out, but I just realized that the Raiders are full of criminal fans anyway, so they could.
Yeah, when I first saw that, I'm like, you're not helping yourself.
Yeah, no,
you're on
like,
the news wearing that. I'm like, you're not helping. You're not helping the cause, dude.
Steve, when I got there, the second person was Miller Time, and when Miller Time got there, he's like, you're not gonna fucking believe this. He's like, Pook wants a fucking. I gotta get him this Raider lid and his T-shirt. I go, are you kidding me? And then I'm looking at, I'm like, fucking Ice Cube.
But now I know why. You had yourself. You wanted tickets.
Yeah, I wanted some tickets.
He had ulterior motive, because I swear when I first saw that, I'm like, yeah,
Tickets.
Pook's out. Wait, you're not doing yourself a favor. Looking like that, man. That is awesome.
Andre. You know what? Me and Andre when me and Andre were working with each other in the beginning, we didn't get along. Because he was asking me these questions, and I'm like, I'm just because I'm getting frustrated with him.
But he was trying to get down to the nitty gritty,
yeah,
and
he was like digging.
He needed
he's like
it
trying
all.
to make me dig out stuff. But then when I met him, dude, me and Andre are like two brothers right now.
Fuck yeah, dude.
To this day, me and him are together. But sometimes it takes to hate somebody.
That's your dad, right? That's your dad.
That's my
right there.
dad. That's my dad. I haven't seen my dad in a long time.
That's your Uncle Jerry.
Uncle Gary. Yeah.
Gary.
It's awesome.
My crazy dad with white hair. I can't grow hair anymore, and my dad has white hair.
Hey, what's wrong with white hair?
So I love it.
And then also too, your mom saying right here, there was a stipulation of you being released, right? Look, watch.
They're here. These are all his high school friends. That's how long they stayed with him. They never gave up.
Family, man.
This is family. Yeah, this is family.
And you guys are already, 10 years past high school at that point?
No, we're
20-something.
20
No,
years.
when you got busted.
Yeah.
When I got busted, I was 35. So we're
Yeah, no, whatever, 15, 10. Math sucks for me.
Hey, who is that dude?
Right there, AC,
Yeah.
that's AC the program, AC the PD. He's a real good
I thought that
friend
was
of mine.
Chaos at first, dude.
No,
Oh, Chaos is going to be mad at you.
What? They kind of do look. They kind of look like a similar. Like,
Well, you know, but
no,
Chaos-
but I ain't seen Chaos
now
in
that one guy's
forever,
gonna be
so I
mad
don't know
at
what
you.
I don't know what Chaos turned into.
Last time you saw Chaos.
Was fucking 2003, 4, or 2.
Those are my friends. Those are my boys. Chuck and Weechai, those crazy maniacs.
Yeah, there's a really cool picture of you and Todd somewhere floating around the internet. You
Somewhere
and Todd just
floating
hang
around,
out.
We gotta find it.
I can find it now, but I have to take this off. I don't want to do that.
Miller Time.
That's Miller Time right there.
That's my. You know what's crazy? Miller Time didn't want to come see me. He's like, I'll just wait for you to come out. But his,
No, you know what? Miller
but
Time-
his wife made him come see me, and then 2 weeks after he saw me, I'm coming out.
Right.
Oh, it took that long?
Took that long.
Yeah.
Wow, and then
No,
you're coming out?
Hey, Miller Time, because Pook, you know.
Can we talk about how good of a friend he is and what he's done?
Oh, dude, listen. Since I've been out, Miller Time has done incredible. The whole Miller family has done incredible things. You know, so it's kind of a teary moment because you find real, true friendship. And
Yeah, Miller Time's he's the greatest, dude. Right?
Miller Time told me, look, I'm a fireman. I've been a fireman for over 20-something years. I got it now. Whatever you want,
I can help you.
Got it.
I got you. I help you.
Just do it.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, so Miller's my main boy. You know, me and Miller Time have gone through a lot of stuff, you know, since we were kids. And to
You guys all live really close right there in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
You, the Cerro brothers,
well, you know,
Freddie.
Freddie B, Steve Miller, Paul Gomez.
You guys all live right around the block right there.
So we were all like a band of brothers.
Yeah.
You know, and John Jameson and Glenn Roth. You know, we all grew up together. And the good thing about it is, those guys didn't, you know, leave me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and like you two, you guys didn't leave me. You know, it's just I was just gone, and I came back. So, I was gone for a minute, and you know, and I've gotten my mind is much stronger, much better. You know, and
So play it, Scotty. I want to
All
get
right.
I want to get roll through this so Pooh can see most of this.
you know,
You want me to scoot up to something or just let it go?
No, just let it go. Let it go.
All right.
Let it go.
yeah, I have not.
Went down.
Todd has some great
Went
work, man.
down
I haven't
his
seen
house.
this. This is
And the undercover agent.
Dude, like I said, we were out there for 2 hours, two and a half hours
Oh, yeah,
waiting.
so let me tell you, the reason why I couldn't come out is because me and the lady were fighting over the situation. She's like, you can't talk to the media.
Right. They let your mom or Andre speak on your behalf, but they didn't want you out on the driveway explaining your
property,
case or
nothing.
anything. Just all you could say was, "Hi, I'm glad to be out." And
But everybody in there, even the officer was like, look, we're not going to arrest you back.
right.
We're not going to arrest you
We're not
back.
gonna arrest you.
Yeah.
So you're released.
No, yeah, no, and I heard mumblies of the walkie-talkies going back and forth because we were parked. I mean, that's the front entrance to Terminal Island, and even the Coast Guard shares property right there.
Right.
So they would have to drive around the news vans and all the people
Government
walking
on
around.
government.
Yeah, government. So, yeah, government on government crimes. So, but I heard grumblings going. You know what? We can't, like all the news vans and that. What are we gonna do? Go out there and make a scene and say you guys got to go? This went on for 30 minutes, 35 minutes of us talking and hanging out and hugging. And like I said, this is the driveway to Terminal Island where people are coming and going, people that work there, visitors, all that shit. And they didn't send anybody out. They didn't send nobody out to fucking tell us we had to split or go. They just waited for us to wrap it up. And this is at home.
And you know, what's funny? My mom gave me that iPad, right, in the car. And she's like, hey, you had an interview. And she gives me this iPad. And I'm like,
What the fuck is this Star shit?
yeah, I'm like, I don't know what the
Star
hell
Trek
this is.
shit.
Star Trek? And she's like, oh, I forgot.
Hey, well, here, check this out too, Pook.
I've been to the feds. I'm officially out. Officially official, unfortunately. But I'm back. I'm going to take this over.
I told everybody, I said I had to relinquish my mayorship. Downey, now that you're back.
The mayor is back,
The
baby.
mayor's back.
The mayor is back. The mayor is back. The Black Angel is back in effect.
Right.
This is great right here. Tell everybody who that is.
That right there is my grandmother. She came every other week for 10 years.
Didn't skip a beat?
Didn't skip a beat.
Wow.
My grandmother.
That is awesome.
She aged in 10 years, but
Hi, Granny. How you doing?
Hey, you know the whole time I'm filming this, Pook. The whole time I'm filming this, I can't believe I'm sitting on the front lawn with you home. Okay,
Right.
But your grandma and Simon, man, some of the coolest people I ever met in my whole life. But your grandma, you can really tell, like your grandma is just so jacked at your home, standing
She
in the
hasn't
front
let
lawn.
go.
Yeah,
She hasn't let go. That is so awesome,
Yeah,
man.
I'm trying to get away.
No, yeah, your grandma would not let go of you, man.
Yeah, like,
Holy shit.
yeah. I just want to tell everybody, thank you for all.
And this was kind of a quick little breakfast that Pook wasn't. We had to get you to the halfway house like within 4 hours, but we diverted it to the DNY to have a quick breakfast.
And we had an escort.
And we had to escort, yeah. White 90 escorted everybody in from Terminal Island back to Downey. But
And again, I just want to thank you guys for everything, all the support you guys gave, everything, the social media, passing on the word to here, coming to visit, sending cards. You guys don't understand when you're in there and mail call comes and you got something, it means so much. Because I feel so sorry for the guys that don't have anything. You know, those guys are like my brothers in there. 10 years, you know, 10 I was with them. And if you guys would have actually seen how these guys sent me off because from inmates to staff, you know, they were sad because I was going.
fuck yeah, I'd be fucking sad if Pook left.
Like they know I couldn't stay
And I was still in there?
You keep in contact with any of the inmates?
Yeah, I still talk to a couple of them because they call me on my phone and I'm like, what's up, man? You know, I'm gonna accept your phone call, of course. And I send them magazines. I send them stuff so they can just keep passing it around and stuff like that because it's the right thing.
And everybody knows who's it from.
Yeah.
Everybody knows.
And then I'm waiting to send them some cool.
So you're still at the island.
Oh yeah.
You're never gonna leave the island, are you? You're gonna have a past.
When there's certain
present
people
and a
that
future
I want
there.
to leave. When those certain people get released, then I can get away.
Hey,
from
Gotcha.
I got a question. Are you allowed to go and visit anybody?
No, I can't. No.
So you cannot go step into Terminal Island as a visitor for anybody? Why?
Because they'll probably think that I'm gonna come up with, hey, this is how you're gonna get out. You know, they don't.
This is how you do it.
I gotta be out.
Call
be out
Obama.
for,
That's how you
10
get
years.
out. Call Obama.
Give Obama your phone number.
Well, it's a little too late because now with Trump showing up.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
So how did your name get on the Obama list? Was it was your lawyer?
What happened when this
Your mom.
Obama project came out in 2014, and I didn't qualify for it because they had some qualifications that you needed to qualify for it, and I didn't at that time. I didn't qualify for it, so I didn't want to put my name in and take someone else's
spot.
Jesus,
Really?
you are the nicest person ever.
Right?
Because I knew there was going to be millions of people doing it, but why do it? Why take someone else's spot when
But I remember-
It only took 10 years, but that checker was right.
yeah.
That checker was right. It only took 10 years.
Well, but you know, the checker was right because I did a lot of stuff inside the prison that helped a lot of other
Yeah.
people.
Community work, we call it.
I did community work in the prison more than I did outside of the prison. You know, I help people. Like some people say men can't bond, but when you're in a situation like that,
What?
males bond big in prison.
Yeah.
And because we're all going through the same thing. And I never forget there was an Italian guy that was there when I first got in, and he told me something that sticks in my mind. He said, hey, he goes, you only have one best friend in prison. And if you never turn that best friend down, he will be there for you for the rest of your time that you're doing. And I said, who's my best friend? He says, it's your bed. Because your bed will keep you warm, it will let you rest, and will always be there for you.
Yeah, that's good.
And whenever
I thought he was gonna say you.
and whenever
Like
I
the
had
mirror.
a bad time, I just go right to my bed and just stay there.
Just chill.
Just chill. Read comic books.
Yeah.
My Uncle Mike used to bring me comic books. It used to be everybody's like, dude, it's a black nerd. Comic books. I'm like, well, I'm getting away from you guys.
Black nerd, that's another N word. That's the black ninja. A black nerd.
Yeah, I'm getting away from you guys. I'm reading my comic books, and I started converting people into reading comics. Like, okay, yeah, man. I mean, I'm just going to my own little world.
Comic books are one of the most intellectual, literature that's out there. I mean, it's grown men with, that write that.
Yeah.
It's not children.
It's not kids writing comic books.
Okay, so here next question I want to ask you is: before you went in, you had a band called the Beat Pimps.
Yeah, well, not exactly before, but back in the day, I had the band.
Back in the day, you were in a band called the Beat Pimps.
Early 98 to 2000.
Ah, the 90s, huh?
Yeah, the end of the 90s. End of the 90s, the golden years.
Yeah, the greatest decade of all. We came across some old footage.
No.
Yeah, we have old footage. Wait till you see this, you're gonna die. But we have old footage of you not only performing. It's a little hard to look at, and it's grainy, and it's VHS.
That's because we had VHS back then.
Yeah. This is some funny shit, and I have some questions. I want to get figured out here on some of this footage. See if you can answer. Look at this.
What the hell is this?
Look at this. Yeah, it's a little.
That was in
Pimp Camp.
That was in Huntington Beach, in the middle of the yard.
It was a 4th of July party, wasn't it?
I'm a bounty hunter.
I'm a bounty hunter.
Oh, sitting in the car. Okay. I know what we used to do in the van.
Hey, who's that guy in the red shirt?
That's the drummer or the bassist.
That's your bass player.
That's Chaos.
Who's that?
Who is that?
See, back in the day, you could just light M88s off in Huntington Beach on the streets and nobody would flinch.
Yeah, that was Huntington Beach all the way. Oh, Dan.
No, that's not.
No, he wasn't
Dan.
there.
That's not Dan.
We didn't find him.
We have no footage.
Oh, what happened?
No footage of the drummer?
No, this is what happened on the tape.
This is what happened on the tape. It went into this.
What is this?
Yeah, before you guys started, it went into this.
Stone Cold Steve
It was a
Austin.
3.5-hour tape, and there's 2.5 hours of wrestling on it. And then finally we found this.
Yeah, Chaos. Somebody in your house tried to sabotage the Pimp Cam video.
Okay, so there you go with the Beat Pimps.
So hold on a second. I want to show something right here. Look at that. Boom. That's the Beat Pimps. They had something due to the fact that the three of them were all rappers of all different flavors and colors, and that hadn't happened yet. I hadn't seen it anywhere. I thought that was the coolest thing.
We had one more. We had the female, too.
Yeah, but she wasn't.
Isn't that called the Black Eyed Peas?
Yeah, we were Black Eyed Peas and before they were Peas.
Yeah, I mean, look at that. I mean, and you guys had skills. When I saw it, I'm like, dude, this is something. This is it. You guys had songs. We all knew 562. I thought you knew. You know,
562,
these are the breaks. Like we used to leave your concerts singing your concerts, and you don't do that with groups that you don't know or don't like. And I'm like, dude, these guys have something.
So that's Jared Lucero. That's Pooky in the back, and that's Chaos.
Right.
And who's the female?
Karina. She was my secret weapon.
Now, is that who Jared got married to?
No.
It's a whole different woman. Okay.
I hope not, because in the video, I believe she's with Chaos at this time. per the video I saw.
Who's that man? Who can it be? It's the Southern Cop player representing down here. K-Pook, I'm about that dank and dank. And the California sunshine to help me think, cause but these are the breaks. And I come from the lands of shakes and quakes. We like to see girls on roller skates. There is no other place like my Golden State. Open your eyes.
Look at that fucking gold. Look at that gold. Looks like a fucking Mayan.
You know, it's funny, when I put this band together, Jared was like my good-looking guy. Chaos was my white version of Ice Cube.
Chaos was your Eminem. He was your Slim Shady back in the day.
Well, he was more Ice Cube because he was kind of hard back then. He wanted to be hard.
You know what? You remember what I always used to tell you about when your performances, and who you remind me of mostly of it was KRS-One. Mm-hmm. And remember when you used to get out there on stage and you would walk around like it was the first. I mean we were close and we were doing the sound and we were there as a posse to the band anyway. But I used to love the way you used to get up to the stage and you used to like KRS-One used to have that ability just to get everybody involved, and point to everybody and be like, "What's up?" and give it back and give it back. And you used to be you're like KRS-One, man. You remind me of so much.
He's my favorite.
Fuck yeah, man.
His
And
chaos.
I could see Chaos as your fucking Ice Cube.
Yeah. Because look at him. Listen to it.
Bye, Felicia. And so, and in the later years, the drummer that you see there wasn't the drummer that I was kind of. I mean, I remember early performances, but when Scott and I got this footage, I couldn't remember the drummer or the bass player.
No, well, the bass.
I remember the bass player, and I remember the drummer, the guy that's not Daniel.
That's Daniel.
That's not Daniel Poppins.
That's not Daniel Poppins. Daniel Poppins is white.
Not Daniel Poppins. That's Daniel.
That's how much we don't even know the guy. His name's Dan too.
And he's white.
High school. that Daniel went to Warren High School.
Daniel
Poppins.
Daniel went to Warren. No,
Daniel went to Warren. Daniel's a swimmer. I went to school with Daniel Poppins. Daniel Poppins was the Downey swim boy superhero swim.
Him.
No, it's not.
That's not Daniel Poppins.
Wait. Was it Daniel Poppins Russian?
Yes. He was the big white Russian swimmer.
And you know what? The first time you guys used him, remember with the Skaterama? Remember the concert at the Skaterama in Downey on Woodruff?
Yeah.
That was the first time that Daniel Poppins slid into the drummer.
Swim champion.
Yeah. Trophies up the ass. He had a whole room.
Him and his sister were both the best swimmers that's ever come out of that city.
Oh, for sure.
Or that area.
Yeah, he's a phenom.
That's a different Daniel, and he was from Warren also.
Okay, but that's not Dan Poppins.
No, that is not.
Yeah. But right, the Warren was that the Skaterama shows. Like I think that's the first show that the all skate roller skate
did the crossover.
The bounce rock skate.
That's when Daniel Poppins popped in, and I went to grade school with Daniel Poppins, and I remember that night going. Like I hadn't seen him in like 20 years, 15 years, and he's like, Todd, I'm like, Daniel, and he's like, what are you doing here? I'm like, fuck, I roll with that guy right there. That's Pooky, and he goes, I'm the drummer in the band now. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. And you know what though, dude, Daniel Poppins was
the last time I roller skated.
No, that might be the last time we roller skated. But Daniel Poppins, dude, you could play him anything on the radio, and not only was he the phenom swimmer of the day, but I just recently bought a drum set, which Scotty can attest to, and I've been working hard to become a drummer ever since. But Daniel Poppins was remember he would snap them sticks, dude. He was hard on the fucking skins, and he was fucking like you could play anything on the radio, and he would regurgitate it and play it, man. He was good. Did you like Daniel?
Daniel was good, but you know what happened with Daniel in the group was his parents.
Yeah, they didn't like you. They didn't like any of the whole band atmosphere. None of that shit. And remember the smoking the weed, and Daniel like he flipped, man. He went fucking all in, like
he went from an Olympian to a non-Olympian.
Yeah.
Well, actually, Michael Phelps. He was following Michael Phelps' footsteps. A great swimmer, but yet he could also enjoy his time off.
And remember, he had that house to himself.
Right.
Next to the mayor. Next to the mayor of Downey, which was a bad thing.
That's where we used to practice all the time.
Yeah. It was next to the mayor.
We're smoking weed and practicing.
Oh yeah, man.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Daniel had, and like I said, and to this day,
himself.
You have no him and his sister. Just him and his sister live there. You have not talked to Daniel since. Like
I don't know where.
You have no idea where Daniel Poppins at.
Can you find him? You're gonna surprise me.
To the internet.
We're stringers.
Hold on a second.
We're stringers.
We got a surprise guest for you. Daniel, come walk.
This is your life, Pook. We got Daniel Poppins.
If he comes in here,
he's in the bathtub doing laps right now.
If he comes in right now, I'm gonna shit on myself.
No, he's not.
We don't have Daniel Poppins.
He's not. All right. So do you want to go to the next one, or are we good on this?
Yeah.
You want to see some more? You want to keep going?
No, I'm good. I'm just.
All right. Well, hold on. We got this for you too.
This is.
Oh wait, back that up. I want to ask you who that girl is. Back that up. Who's that? Can you remember who that is? Get a good look at that. I just want to know what her name was. She's dancing with one of our crew, one of your crew. I mean, right? That's
our crew. We're all
right.
No, that's just.
It's in Huntington Beach.
Yeah, I know.
It's a far cry from Downey. You never know who's going to be in between that.
Oh, give me the loot. Give me the loot.
Give me the loot. Oh, you know what?
So look at this. Where are you at? You did a car show.
Oh, car show. Yes, that's a car show in. Man, we were doing shows, man. We were doing our thing, man. We were a great band, and then, like bands usually they do too much and they destroy themselves, and that's pretty much what happened.
Get rid of that.
They destroyed themselves, man. You know what? But I have to say, Jared, his son and daughter.
Yeah.
They are incredible.
Did you talk to Jared? Is he still around the corner?
No, Jared moved to Arizona. He has a new
that's
family
right.
with himself.
That's right.
But his son and daughter from previous, they're rappers and dancers right now.
Yeah, good.
They're incredible.
Good at the craft.
Third generation.
Right. Does anybody still live around the corner?
Joe owns the house now.
Ah, cool. All right.
And that's all. I haven't seen him yet though.
Right.
But he owns the house.
We got some footage coming up here of some really old house party footage that.
Was it your house? Was it your house party that day I walked in the room?
No, not that party. This is outside of the lab, right here. Look at this. Look at this old footage.
Man, look how young I was. Jeez, look at
at
Freddie B.
Look at Chatty.
Oh, Chatty Chad.
Roman in the back. Who's that? That was Wheelie King.
Wait, where is this at?
This is at a house party in like La Habra. La Habra. We went to.
My mom was there too.
I love it. What are you doing?
Who's that girl? Do you remember that girl is?
Wait, I think that was. Is that Leslie?
Just want to make sure that's close.
I'm not sure.
Let me,
Man, you know
Some
what?
good footage, right? Some old stuff, right?
You guys are the best, man. This is like taking me back to memory lane, and this is hard. This is.
Well,
Hey,
we
it's
do have
overwhelming.
one more special guest.
One more special guest.
We do have one more special guest.
Okay, I'm always down for special guests. Is he gonna come out the refrigerator?
So back in 2007, I started, well actually it was before that, but back in 2007 I spent some TV money on some art. And during my art craze I used to buy some things.
Okay.
This is one of the things I bought. I've had it since, well, once you see it you'll know the year that it happened. But we have one more special guest for you. So, here you go.
You want me to open this special guest?
Here you go, buddy.
Open
All right.
it. Poop.
All right. I'll open it. Oh shit! Let me get up. Let's see if this,
See who the special guest is?
see who the special guest is. My hand open. Oh, goodness. Oh man, you guys don't. This is not a special guest. This is my.
It's as close as we get to him actually being here. So.
This guy right here is my hero. You know, and
Talking to the mic.
I mean, as he's my hero. You know, I can't say anything else, but without this guy right here, it's. I mean, he's done a lot for America, but as being an African American, I've lost a lot of heroes like Muhammad Ali and Prince, Michael Jackson, anyone that we would look up to as being African American. They've all kind of just left us, you know, from Martin Luther King's and Malcolm X and everything. But this guy right here is he's number one. You know, and without him, I wouldn't be here having this interview with you guys right now. And I will hang that with honor and pride, and it will go with me wherever I go. Everywhere I go, he's there.
There you go, buddy.
And I really,
Welcome home, dude.
I really appreciate that.
Welcome home.
Yeah. Welcome home, Poop.
I've been trying to buy something from Obama.
Welcome home, man.
Right?
Thanks, guys.
You got it, dude.
This guy's going everywhere I go. This guy's going with me.
Yep.
This is my ninja.
Yeah, he is. Fuck yeah, huh? Nice, nice.
Oh man.
So, what? Pull the mic there, Poop. So, what future plans? Are you writing any? Are you writing music? Are
You know
you?
what,
What's going on now?
Okay,
Future
well-
plans. There's a story that
Yeah,
there's
go
a
ahead.
story I need to hear before future plans.
Yeah, I'd love to tell you what's been going on.
Strip club, Atlanta.
Okay, well listen.
New Year's.
I haven't seen my mother, and you know I see my mother off and on, and then we tried real hard to get me to go to Atlanta, and I've never seen her house or anything, and she has told all her friends about me since I've been gone, and she's made a lot of friends, and
How long has your mom lived in Atlanta now?
She's lived there 10 years. 10 years.
Yep.
And thanks to Andre Townsend, he got in contact with my PO because my PO was not trying to let me leave the state. And Andre Townsend got a hold of him and said,
Hey, man, listen,
man, do you know who this guy is? This guy got released.
And he wants to see his fucking mom.
And, you know, he hasn't seen his mom.
I didn't know the strip club story revolved around.
And so the PO's like, no, we're not going to let you go for like 6 months or so. That's our policy. And he was like, okay, look, you know what? We'll take this to court. And then the PO kind of backed up. Was like, no, we don't have to go to court. It's okay. Everything's cool.
Go ahead and roll.
You know, we go, whatever he wants to do, we can make this happen. So thank you, Andre Townsend, for that. So I got to finally go see my mother, and I flew out to the dirty South.
Dirty South.
Dirty South. And my mom had it all hooked up for me. She's like, strip club the day you land.
No way.
We're having a party at my house, and then we're going to a New Year's Eve party.
Even your mom knows they're better out there than they are here.
You know, listen, my mom is a number one mom, and you know everybody has a number one mom, but my mom would take all you guys in. Like she loves Todd. Todd's her son. Like you guys are her sons, because she lives vicariously through me. So if I say I love this guy, then she's gonna love him automatically. And she put this whole thing together. And when I land in Atlanta and I get out kind of late, her friends were still waiting for me. And they go, hey, we're gonna go to this strip club. And I'm thinking, Magic City? Because that's like where everybody goes when they go to Atlanta. And this guy's like, nah, we're going to go to Magic City because it's just that name because everybody hears about it.
It's just flooded with tourists.
Yeah, it's just flooded with tourists, and that's where everybody wants to go. And really, in my heart, I was like, man, you know, going to a strip club now compared to going to a strip club 20 years ago, it's different because if you're not coming with stacks of cash.
Yeah, it's a whole different monster.
Especially in hot Atlanta.
Yeah, especially now that we're going to come with $25 and be like,
right,
hey,
get the fuck out of here. That's parking. That's parking.
That's not going to work.
Right.
So he goes, man, I got this spot for you. We're going to go to the spot. So we get ready to go, and it's called the, what did I told you the name of the spot. It's, why do I always forget it? The Blaze, Club Blaze.
Club Blaze.
Go to Club Blaze. My man Terrence takes me to Club Blaze. So when I get in the parking lot, I get in there, and it's kind of cold. I walk in, and they don't even have a dude patting you down. It's a woman patting you down. As soon as I walk in, I just see...
See, that's nice.
I just see bucket, naked women. And I see drinks.
Is this the first time you've seen a naked woman since? At this point, since you've been out of prison, was it the first time you saw a naked woman, or did you?
In person?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So it's the first time you've seen a live naked woman in 10 years
that I can actually touch.
You're not allowed to touch.
I was one of those guys that came out and I'm gonna screw like a rabbit. I'm still a walking virgin right now. I'm waiting for that right woman. I can put it up in there. Because
no.
I mean,
all right. All right. You're waiting.
Listen,
you're waiting.
America, I haven't had sex yet, and I've been out 4 months or 5 months.
You can find them at. What was it?
Contact the LOUDLABS show through the YouTube page, and we'll get you in
at
contact.
Pook the Mayor.
K-Pook the Mayor.
K-Pook the Mayor on Instagram.
If you want to donate me a little bit of something, you can go ahead and donate it. I'm not tripping, but I'm not going to pursue it, but if you want to donate it, come on,
I'm ready to donate myself.
So when I get in the strip club, I'm sitting down and I'm looking around and I'm like, these black strip clubs in Atlanta are different than I don't care if you got the prettiest girl coming from Persia to Vegas or wherever, or Israel or whatever, these Brazilian girls, and they come to these Vegas,
Florida.
In California,
California.
They look good, right?
Right.
In Florida, they look great. But when you go to Atlanta, it's a whole nother ball game. They have the strip club on lockdown, basically.
Right.
So I walk in, I see naked women, and I see drinks.
Ding, 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 ding.
I'm seeing girls doing twerking, and and
booty clapping.
All that is happening. Booty clapping, twerking. It's happening.
Do you see? Is it raining anywhere? Do you see rain falling?
No, it's not
Anybody
raining.
making it rain?
It's not
out of the
raining
corners
yet.
of your eyes.
Here's the good. So I'm sitting at the table, and the guy goes, "What do you like to drink?" I go, "I like tequila." So he goes to get street tequilas. This girl comes up to me. She's like, "Where are you from?" And I tell her, I don't want to dance yet because I just got here, but I'll come talk to you a little bit later.
I don't want to wet my pants. I don't want to wet my pants yet. I am just getting used to the nakedness of people. Let it happen.
So and then I order. She goes, "Well, can you buy me a Hennessy?" I go, "Fuck it, yeah, I'll buy you a shot of Hennessy."
Still a nice guy.
You know how these girls are.
It's a setup. She works with the feds. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Some Hennessy, but when the girl comes back and I'm thinking it's gonna be like $30, she's like, "Oh, $14." So I'm like, "Okay, 14 for two of them, $7 a Hennessy, right?" So I drink my Hennessy, I got a shot of tequila, I get back up and get another shot of tequila, and the DJ's playing this song, and I'm loving this song, and the DJ's like, "Yo, this Big C, I be breaking hits." He's I'm doing all this. Ludacris, everybody's like, "Yeah, come and go through me. This is my spot." And he's doing all his things, doing all the DJ tricks, everything that I'm loving right now.
Right.
So I go up, I get out of my seat and I go up to the window and I tap on the window to the DJ and I go, "Hey man, can you tell me that song again?" I said, because that I need to know what that is, because I said I DJ in California, I know some DJs, and I want to break this hit in California. So he tells me the name. He goes, "You're a DJ in California?" I go, "Yeah." I do my little share things too. He goes, "Man, come on the stage."
Get up here.
So I get up, I get on the stage, and he has a window on the side. So when I see him, I start Instagramming him. So if anybody wants to see what I was saying to him, you can go to it. So I start Instagramming, and he's doing all his things and doing everything, and then he takes off for a second. Comes back, he goes under the table, and he comes out with a stack of $1 bills wrapped up in a rubber bands. He comes out with a band. That's what they call it out there, the band.
Bands to make a dance.
So he gives it to me. He goes, "Here." He goes, "Make it rain, boy, from
No
California.
shit.
Make it rain." And I'm on the stage, and I'm just like,
no fucking way.
I'm throwing these dollar bills, man. I'm taking the dollar bills. I'm slapping girls in their butt with the dollar bill. And then I'm grabbing their breasts. And I'm like,
Just pasting, right?
I'm just throwing, I'm not gonna keep none of this money. This is too fun.
No. How much money do you think in ones you had?
Probably about $1,000.
$1,000? Yeah.
Just throwing it out there.
Right.
Just throwing it. It's
peeling it off.
Just peeling it off. I'm doing everything real quick and throwing and slapping myself.
Nice.
So after I do all that, I got this grin on my face, and I'm looking at my mom's friends, and they're looking at me like, "This dude's only been here 20 minutes.
And he made it rain. He's been on the DJ booth.
20 minutes. Got all the songs requested.
So
got
when
1,000.
So when I get done and I asked the guy, I said, "Who's the best girl to get a dance with?" He says, "That one right there." So I go up to her and I said, "I was requested by the DJ to get a dance that said you're the best dancer in the house." She smiles. So she says, she goes, "Okay, come on." I sit down. She starts taking off her clothes. Bam, bam. She starts making the
Black girl?
Black girl, of course. Right.
All right.
She starts making the pussy pop. Pop, pop, pop. It's like making these little, it's like breathing.
Yeah. A little tropical flower, huh?
Tropical flowers, like
all right.
breathing, and she's got her breast all in my face. And then the one thing I can tell you about this club I went to, Club Blaze, the hands-on policy is a such thing. So while she's twerking, I'm laying my hand on her butt, and my butt is and I'm just watching it, right? I'm just holding her waist, watching my hand.
Just watching it all shake.
Just watching it all shake.
Can we find that on Instagram?
No, because I can't.
I gotcha.
Can't show that.
Yeah.
And so then when she turns around, I just got the nipples and I'm holding them and everything's just bouncing and I'm just.
So you got the full show.
I'm just touching, right? So you do about 5-6 songs, right?
Holy smokes.
So I ask her how much.
Dollar goes a long way in Atlanta.
Uh-oh.
I go, "How much is this gonna be?" She goes, $35. I go, $35? She goes, "Yeah, $5 a dance." I go, $5 a dance and you're naked?
Here we go. Here's 60. Let's keep you on overtime.
So then I leave her.
Mom, we're staying a little longer.
I leave her and I go sit down and I find the girl that was with me in the beginning. And she walks by and I go, "Look, I got $35 more left." And I said, "I want to go and have this last dance with you." So she takes me to this back table, and boy, do I have the dance of my life. She's dancing. I'm putting my fingers in places of no return.
Making deposits.
And I said, how many dances I get for $35? He goes, for you, I give you 8. I said, okay. And it comes to find out, she's from San Diego. And I said, oh, San Diego. So that's because I said, are you gonna be my first peach that I have for the night? She's like, no, I'm from California. And I'm like, oh man, well, shit.
Get out of here. Get out of here, San Diego.
But at least it was $8. I mean, 8 dances for $35. And at the end of the night, I went and sat down back to my friends, and they were like, I ain't never seen this happen before. Someone just come get in, first time, sit down, throwing money off the stage.
Get the stack.
Got the stack of money for free, and sitting there and throwing it away and having a great time.
So you spent New Year's. That's obviously it's New Year's. And you go to your New Year's party and you spend like 3 days with your mom.
Yeah,
and
man, it was real touching.
That's cool, man.
I got to see Atlanta. I got to see Black Lanta.
Yeah.
And it was very fun. You know, it was fun seeing.
Your mom's house for the first time.
Yes.
Right.
No, I'm honestly gonna say it was fun seeing sophisticated, rich-looking African Americans.
Yeah.
It was like impressive. Like
Right.
these guys have $300,000 houses that are big as
Right.
hell.
You get a lot more for your money
A
than
lot
down
more
there.
for your
so,
money out
yeah.
there. So it almost makes me want to raise an eyebrow to go over there.
Yeah.
But I still want to be, I'm still 100% Cali
Yeah, you're
boy.
fucking LA boy. What are you
But
gonna do?
I wouldn't mind spending my money out there.
Right, getting a nice spread out there for sure.
Oh man, for a getaway, yeah.
Yeah, please do that. We'd all like to get away.
Hey, I went to one guy's house. He
Atlanta.
had 3 movie theaters and a pool table and a full-size bar
At his house?
in his house.
So Pook, are you working? Are you been writing? Are you writing any new music?
You know,
What's your next? What's your next
my
steps?
next move. Okay, well, I meant to tell everyone this. In February, I'm not going to give the name of it yet, but in February, which will be 6 months that I've been completely out of prison, I'm doing a gallery. I'm going to be in an art gallery with some pictures and stuff that I have taken since I've been out.
Oh, you had a little photography show going.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
going
nice.
to be off of Fairfax and Melrose, and if everything works out correctly, of course, I'm pretty sure that picture will be there also. And I'm trying to get some bands. I'm talking to Dilated People right now, and since I have a connection with Chuck D, I'm gonna try and see if I can get Chuck D, because the owner says if you get them, they can perform on the stage. So I'm gonna try and take Hollywood over in February. And what I'm hoping is I'm gonna bring some awareness of what's going on with the situations of prison.
The FAM organization.
I'm talking to FAM right now. Families Against Mandatory Minimums, Debbie Campbell, and I'm just trying to get. We're trying to get in contact with Netflix for that 13 movie.
Yeah.
We're gonna try and get in contact with them and try to bring them along with us.
Yeah.
And we're gonna try and put this whole thing together to bring the awareness. And along with that, I'm hoping that, America is America, but other countries would appreciate what I've done and my success that I've done.
And about what you're about to embark on.
What I'm about to work for that. So we're hoping. I just got a connection with Germany right now. So the guy says, get it all together, put it on paper, and then we'll figure it out. We'll bring you out there. And so that, I'm hoping that will help create some income for myself.
And what about the radio show over there at the Truth Seekers? You doing anything with them?
Well, with Truth Seekers, I just do that show because it's my friend Santana Westbrook. He's been supporting me since I've been gone.
What's the station over there?
90.7 KPFK.
Right.
His show is every Friday night from 12 o'clock to 2 o'clock. He was someone that kept me going while I was in prison on Friday nights. I come out Friday night. Started to get ready to watch.
Play a set and bring you home.
And on Sundays, I help out my friend J-Rock on Sundays. He's on KPFK also. His show is called Adventures in Stereo. And I answer the phones and talk a little bit, and that's every Sunday night from 10 o'clock to 12 o'clock.
Right.
So I'm there all the time with there. And then I just got a hold of my old friends, the Baker Boys, which I used to do their radio show.
Oh, yeah, Power 106 guys.
Power 106. I was the in the morning guy and the guy that would be places.
What are they doing now?
They're getting ready to start a new radio show starting Monday at Dash. There's an app for Dash.
Right.
Dash Radio. And they're going to be doing a show every day at 8 o'clock. So they told me to come on board, and we're going to make this happen. I'm going to get back with my boys.
Right.
And so basically, I've just got my hands in everything right now. and then hopefully I figure my. Well, you know what? I'm not forgetting. I have my own show. I just have to put it together. Thanks to a very good friend of ours, Nikki Kessler. She is part of Chuck D's radio station, which is called Rap Central Station, and I just plugged in my own show that I'm going to be having. I get an hour radio show that's going to be on streamed.
Where at?
On rapcentralstation.com.
No, but I mean, where are you doing it? Where are you talking? Where are you speaking?
I'm going to do it here.
That's what I was gonna say. If you ever need a studio, this is yours.
I actually do need a studio.
This is yours.
Because they want me to put everything in the can. They want me to do 3 shows a week to put in the can. So I need a spot.
You're more than welcome to sit in that spot and have your guests sit there.
Okay. Well, I would
anytime,
love to
man.
Do it. I would love to do it.
Just can't do it on Fridays or Sundays.
Well, that's
perfect.
No, you have the run of this place, man. It's yours.
As long as I got an engineer. Is that the engineer right there?
Either one of us will figure it out.
And we'll start putting it together and we'll make it happen because I need to pop in some shows and we can just put the music in.
And where can people find you on your Instagram handle?
On my Instagram, you can find me at kpook. That's KPOOK DAMAYR, Kpook the Mayor. And on Instagram, you can find me at the same name, Kpook the Mayor. And on Facebook, you can find me at KELKPOOKJOSH. That's Kpook Joshua.
Right on, partner. Hey, I'm fucking glad you're home.
Man, I'm glad to be home and be with you guys and give this interview. And
glad you came by.
And have the, and I want everybody to support the Loud Labs show because it's going to be the next thing that's happening.
Thank you.
And we're going to keep it professional, like always. And whenever you guys need my help on anything, you know, I got my open door.
Oh, we're gonna need a K-Pook segment. we're gonna need man on the street, and you're our man on the street.
I want to be man on the street, definitely. I want to tie everything together so that everybody just follows everybody. I want to I'm trying to get a good network of people together, team members, because now it's time for all of us, instead of being individuals, we all need to piggyback each other so that we can all profit off each other. Because when someone else makes it, you go, well, this is my guy too, and we all can go in a circle because, 8 is the infinity number, so we need to make an 8 with all of our people and just keep it going constantly.
Yep. It's a good conversation. Thanks, Pook.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, dude.
Forgive me, but I have to say one last thing. Thank you, Mr. President Obama, for putting the time in the 8 years and helping the United States be the way that it is. Some of you people out there do not think that this man has done a lot, but this man has done something to myself, my family, and all my friends by letting me go. And I just want to praise him and thank him for everything. Amen.